Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Beok Memes live stream. Game 4 of the 2026 Stanley Cup final between the Vegas Golden Knights and Carolina Hurricanes. I am hoping that Carolina could come up big in this game 4. Kind of feels like a must win for them. I mean, it mathematically isn't, but it feels like a must win. Down 2-1. I don't think you could afford to go back to rally. Game 5 down 3-1. I think if you could tie up the series, that would be ideal. So, going to be tough for them. I think Vegas has been the better team so far. They're up 2-1. And honestly, I think even the game that they lost, I thought they're the better team in game 2. So right now, it kind of looks like theirs to lose, even though it's only a one game series right now. Um, but we'll see. Hopefully, Carolina can bounce back. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, big game today, Tuesday night. We've had 2 days off as well, so you think both teams should be well rested for this game, and should be a good one here. So looking forward to it. Good to be back. I live streamed the Saturday game, game 3. So that was a good time. First live stream I've actually done this channel, so I think it was a good experience. Went well. I think it's something I'll try to do more of in the future. Definitely going to do, I think, going to try to do the rest of these Stanley Cup finals. So hopefully we get 7 games. That would be ideal. 7 games would be after this, 3 more live streams. So that would be ideal. Hopefully the series stretches as long as possible. Make that happen. That would be nice. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But need a big game for Carolina to make that happen, because I do think if they lose this game, it's going to be a pretty short series here. I don't think there's going to be much more left off for here. So hopefully Carolina can come up big in this one. But yeah, like I said, I think it's something I want to do more often. Could be, potentially streaming more games next year, potentially some Blackhawks games next year. That'd be pretty fun. I've joined Lee a few times for some of his streams, so I like to do some more, streams in the future when it comes to game reactions, things like that. Q&As, hangouts, just in general. Like to do more live content. So good to be here. Good to be here. For hopefully, it'll be another good Stanley Cup game. So anyway, how are we doing, chat? How are we doing? How is everyone doing this fine Tuesday night? Are we ready for some chill Stanley Cup action here? How are we feeling, everybody? How are we feeling? Unsurprisingly, Trevor is active. You're at the White Sox game right now. Huh. How's that going? How are the Sox doing? I haven't really checked in. Last I checked before the stream, they were down. Are they still down? Let me check right now. Who are they playing right now? Who are they playing? Braves. They're down 2-0, top of the second. 34 and 31. So still above 500 there. Yeah, Sox have been a good run. Unfortunately, Murakawa got injured, so he's out for a few weeks. But Sox have had a decent season. I think a better year than people expected. Being above 500, second in the AL Central, only game and a half behind the Guardians. So based off of the struggles they've had the past few years, they're definitely an improved team and having a better year. So it's good to see a competitive White Sox team again. Obviously, last few years they've been bottom of the league, bottom of the barrel. So it's good to see them, getting back in contention, having a good team again. So I think it's good for the city. Good to see Chicago sports on the up and up. And in general, it does feel like that. Like that's something we can discuss here before the game. Like in general, Chicago sports does seem to be on the up and up. It's not just you look at a lot of teams. I mean, the Bears obviously this past year being a playoff team with Caleb Williams. I mean, it feels like we have a window here when it comes to potentially winning the first Super Bowl since '86. So I think you gotta win. You gotta win one with Caleb for sure. I think they're building a strong team around him, so that's good to see. Unfortunately, it might be a team we have to watch in Indiana, but that's another topic. We talked about that a bit on Saturday, but Blackhawks obviously the past few years they've sucked, but I do think it's slowly but surely turning around. I do think they're going to be a competitive team for many years to come. With Bedsy and the courts being built here, I do think they're going to be a problem. And the White Sox, I mean, they suddenly have a bright future after a few years ago it looked like they had nothing, but now it looks like they got something brewing here. So as for the Cubs, I don't really care. I'm not a Cubs fan. Those of you who've been following me for a while know that, so I don't really have an opinion. But it does seem like they made the playoffs last year. They definitely have a competitive team. Although this year has definitely been very up and down. I mean, they've been very streaky. They start off the year very hot. Ever since the White Sox series, it's been a bit of a struggle for them. They've hardly won. So I think they lost, 10 games in a row at one point. So they've been going through it a bit. I think things have kind of slowly been turning around of late. They've kind of, well, I guess they're 4-6. They haven't been that much better, but, they're at least sort of trading off games here, although they're quite a bit behind the Brewers now. It looks like they're 8 games behind. So goes to show the differences in the divisions, too, because the Sox and Cubs have pretty much identical records. Sox 34 and 31. Cubs 34-32. The Sox are only a game and a half behind. The Cubs are 8 games behind. So, but yeah, I think that's a skill issue. So And then the Bulls, they exist too. Like I don't really. That's the team. That's the one thing. That's the one team I couldn't really tell you much about. Like I don't really follow the Bulls much. I really couldn't tell you where that team is at, if they have a bright future or not. It kind of feels like they're always stuck in mediocrity. Like they're never really good enough to be a true playoff contender. They're always kind of playing those, like I know that the NBA has that play-in tournament. It feels like they're always kind of in the play-in tournament versus the Heat. If they're not in the playoffs, like I think this past year they actually missed, but it kind of feels like they're never like bad enough to be like to get a top pick, but they're never good enough to be a true contender. Like it feels like they're just always kind of average, mediocre, so no man's land. So that's the one team I can't comment much on them because I'm just not really familiar with the Bulls. Like it's easily a team I follow the least of the Bane five Chicago sports teams. I couldn't tell you about the other ones. I couldn't tell you what the Fire are up to, what the Sky are up to. I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, in general, it does seem like between the Hawks, Sox, and Bears, we'll have at least three teams, and the Cubs too, probably. Unfortunately, four teams that should be pretty, good for years to come. So it's been a long time since all the Chicago sports teams have been, good at the same time. Normally they're kind of trading off, right? You might get a couple that are good at once, and then the rest are struggling. So 2010 is a pretty good pair. I mean, between the Blackhawks winning 3 cups, Sox had some good teams early on. The Bears had that 2010 team that went to the NFC Championship versus the Packers. Oh, they had a lot of rough years there too. The Bulls are very good in the 2010s, right? Because that was when prime Derrick Rose was there, so they were very good. The Cubs kind of struggled the first half of the 2010s, but obviously the second half they won. They won the World Series in 2016 and had a lot of competitive teams. So yeah, that was a pretty good period, I would say. That's probably the best period we've had in recent memory. 2020s have been, tough to this point, but I would say they're starting to turn around here the past little bit. And looks like the rest of the decade, the 2030s as well, should be pretty good. So anyway, I should probably read the chat. I haven't really checked in the chat. Well, it'll probably not be another game like game three. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think every game's been very close to this point. I think every game's been determined by one goal, right? I believe so. Yeah, actually, let me check that, right? Because the last two games have gone to overtime, so I can't remember what the score is at game one, but I think that one was determined by one goal as well. Hard to believe we've already been at this for a week, right? Because it started last Tuesday. Yeah, the game one was 5-4 Vegas. Game two was 4-3 Canes in overtime. Game three was 5-4 Vegas in overtime. So yeah, every game's been determined by one goal. So I mean, based off that pattern, I think we're going to get another close game. But we'll see. It feels like we might be due for a game that's more, I guess, one-sided. But I don't know. I feel like these two teams are pretty damn even, man. I think it's going to be pretty back and forth. And it's definitely one of those series that feels like you're never really out of it, right? I mean, just look at the last game. I mean, Vegas had a 4-0 lead at one point, and the Canes came storming back just to lose in overtime, which is definitely a heartbreaker for them. But yeah, like it feels like you're never really out of the series. Like they're two teams that definitely score goals in bunches. Momentum's definitely big both ways. Once a team gets momentum, it feels like they're able to kind of carry that forward as the game develops. So I think we'll be in for another close game tonight. I think for the Canes, they're definitely gonna be very motivated because it does kind of feel like it's a do or die game. Like it isn't. If they lose today, that obviously it'll only be three, so the series will continue, and they could easily still come back down 3-1. But I have a hard time seeing Vegas lose 3 games in a row. So like I don't and mathematically it's not a must-win game for Carolina, but it definitely feels like a must-win game. Like if they lose this game, you have a hard time seeing them win 3 in a row against Vegas. So they will have 2 out of 3 home games left. So yeah, I think it's definitely. I was gonna say it's a more important game for them, but like on the flip side, though, if Carolina wins this game and it's 2-2, it's home ice for Carolina the rest of the way. So suddenly it kind of flips on its head from that standpoint, where it kind of feels like Carolina's in control. So definitely feels like the most important game of the series. It kind of feels like one of those games where whoever wins this game wins the series. Dare I say? It kind of feels like that. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the ESPN crew is in for a good one today. They've been kind of hit or miss that broadcast. So I'll be listening to them on mute for the purposes of this broadcast, so I couldn't tell you. But hopefully my commentary will be just as good, if not better. So because I know people, a lot of people have been complaining about the ESPN commentary, but I actually think it's been pretty good so far in these finals. But for their standards, but who we got today, chat? Who we got between Carolina, Vegas? Who are we picking today? Um, I mean, my brain says Vegas. I'm going to be real. My brain says Vegas wins this one, but I'm going to go with Carolina for the sake of the health of the series. I think we want to have it, as close a series as possible here. I do think Carolina needs to take this one. If they don't take this one, I think it's probably pretty straightforward for Vegas from here. So it kind of feels like they have to have this one. And I think they're going to be very, motivated to respond. Obviously, they had a rough start to the last game, going down 4-0 early. They did have the comeback, but they weren't able to complete the comeback. So I think for them, that's going to leave a sour taste in their mouth. They have to get off to a better start in this game. Like, they're definitely sleepy to begin game 3. So they got to get off to a better start. They got to set the tone early. I think they got to play at the lead as well. Kind of get Vegas chasing, because Vegas, it feels like they've been in control for much of these playoffs. I think you got to get them on their toes a bit. You got to get them chasing the game. So I think for Carolina, you got to get off to a good start. You got to set the tone Shoresy style. I've been watching the latest season of Shoresy, by the way. It's been pretty good so far. I haven't finished it yet, but I always enjoy watching that show. Game 3 was called Mitch Marner Needs Fucking Help. Well, the thing is, Mitch Marner's been playing so well, it kind of feels like he could do it by himself at this point. Like, that's how good he's been. I mean, I'm only refreshed the stats here. I've lost track of how much points he has. I believe it's 28. I mean, he's been him. I mean, what was it? 3 goals and assists, 4 points for him in game 3. I think he had a 4-point game, right? So, yeah, not to keep slandering Toronto, but yeah, I think he just keeps proving them wrong. He keeps showing that no, like, he wasn't the problem in Toronto, and he absolutely has the ability to be a clutch performer and show up in the postseason when it matters. So I think he's proving Toronto and a lot of teams wrong from that standpoint. So yeah, Vegas is laughing to the bank, man. It's not the first player that's, left their previous team and become a stud with Vegas in the playoffs when it matters. So see Jack Eichel, for reference to 23. So yeah, I mean, right now, as I said, game 3, it definitely feels like it's his Conn Smythe to lose. Yeah, 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points in 19 games for Mitch Marner. That is absolutely ridiculous, folks. 91 points in 89 career postseason games before this series, before these playoffs. Like, he was well under a point per game, based off of his Toronto Maple Leafs tenure. But yeah, definitely been by far his best playoff series. It's not even close, right? I mean, Toronto, he was still around a point per game, but compared to the regular season, his playoffs weren't quite as strong in Toronto. But I think the same thing could be said for pretty much every Leafs team he was on, and that's not just him; that's every player on the team. Austin Matthews, his stats in Toronto in the playoffs are pretty similar to Marner. So from that regard, but Marner got most of the blame, of course. They kind of used him as a scapegoat since he was signed to trade to Vegas. They used him as a scapegoat compared to Matthews, but I don't think that's looking pretty good now, right? Because I think Marner's taking the doubters personally, and yeah, I don't think there's a player in these playoffs that's been more motivated to perform than Mitch Marner. He's definitely putting a lot of storylines to bed. Definitely changing the narrative in that regard. So yeah, definitely feels like his Conn Smythe to lose at this point. I'm not really sure who else in Vegas would win it. We still got a long way to go here, but if Vegas were to close this series out, it definitely feels like Mitch Marner's to lose. I mean, Eichel has an argument, but he's 8 points behind, and he's kind of been, 2 goals, 18 assists. So, like, not that, goals are worth more than assists, but like they kind of are. So, because assists you can get, it's not just primary, you can get the secondary assists and the power play too. So, I would take the goals. Dorofeyev, you could be an argument for Dorofeyev. He has what? 10 goals, 4 assists. That's half Marner's production though. Brett Howden's the one guy where it's like, he feels like the 2013 Brian Bickle here, right? He's just been that solid depth contributor. I mean, I've lost track. How much goals does he have? 13, 14 goals in these playoffs, something like that. He's been ridiculous. Yeah, 13 goals, 4 assists for Brett Howden. He has more goals in these playoffs than he did the entire regular season. He had 12 goals in 58 games, 13 goals, 19 games in these playoffs. So he's been really good. But yeah, it's Mitch Marner. There's really no other argument here. Stone's been good too, but he's missed a lot of games, I believe, due to injury. Actually, he's been kind of mid. So, yeah, it's definitely Marner's to lose for Vegas. Part's been pretty good, but he's not going to win the Conn Smythe. So, yeah, I definitely the runaway favorite there for sure. Carolina, it's more of a debate. I think Taylor Hall would probably be the favorite for them if they were to win. But there's a long way to go here. There's a long way to go. We'll see how the rest of the series develops. I think we'll have a better idea. But, yeah, that kind of feels like the way it's going to go at the moment in terms of Conn Smythe winner. I do think Mitch leaving Toronto is the fault of the GM. The GM always hated him, and it shows Marner has more talent than the Leafs showed what talent he had. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like, to be fair to Marner, it does feel like there are a lot of playoffs there where the whole team would kind of go cold, and Marner, as you know, is more of a playmaker. He sets guys up, and if they're not finishing, then, yeah, the stats aren't going to quite be there, right? Marner, too, is a more complete player than he gets credit for, too. Like, he's not a one-trick pony. He's very good defensively, too. Like, they actually utilize him in the PK quite a bit. It's pretty impressive, a guy like that, as point-per-game player, career best 100. He can also play on the penalty kill too. So he's a very good two-way player. Doesn't get a lot of credit for that. Which obviously Vegas, you need to be a two-way player to perform there, right? It's kind of the type of players that they look at. So they look for those kind of complete players that kind of have everything in their arsenal in terms of offensive, defensive, and neutral zone ability. So yeah, no, I think in terms of the narratives, it's just fun to see the different ways that Mitch Marner and the Toronto Maple Leaf seasons have played out. I mean, without Mitch Marner, I mean, it's not just that, but like that's definitely been a big reason why Toronto is completely imploded this past year. The fact that they were even in the conversation, the fact they even had an opportunity to land the first overall pick, and of course they did, but kind of embarrassing of all the talent in that team. Like they shouldn't even been down there. I mean, look, I mean, I'm gonna bring up his team here. I mean, because like even without Mitch Marner, like they still have a plethora of big time players there. Like it's too talented a team. Like they should not have performed the way they did. I mean, between William Nylander, John Tavares, Matthew Nyes, Austin Matthews, Morgan Riley, like go down the list. Like too much talent on this team. It just goes to show how important Mitch Marner was there. I think he was more important to that team than given credit for. I mean, probably their top player the last 9 years. I mean, people would argue Austin Matthews, but is Austin Matthews scoring all his goals if he doesn't have Mitch Marner? I mean, Matthews this past year, I mean, it must be said, below a point per game, by far the worst season he's had. And I don't think it's coincidence that Mitch Marner wasn't there. I mean, yeah, he also had injuries. Yeah, he had issues he was dealing with. But yeah, I mean, compared to Marner, Matthews had a much worse season, without him. So regular season wise, Marner had lesser numbers compared to usual to what he normally had in Toronto. But the postseason, it's been a different story. So he's definitely raised the level of play. Potentially the new coach bump there could play a factor there too. I do think Torts has definitely been effective with that team. I think them getting hot at the right time, which happens a lot in these playoffs, right? The team that gets hot at the right time. It just kind of feels like everything's going Vegas' way right now. It just feels like theirs to lose. I hope I'm jinxing them. I really hope I'm jinxing them, but it just feels like they're kind of firing on all cylinders here, and I just have a hard time. It feels like it's they're going to take this one, but long way to go. Long way to go. If Carolina takes this game, then we could be talking about a whole different series here. So one game at a time for Carolina, one game at a time, and hopefully they can make this interesting here. So yeah. What do you think is the reason Stenberg is dropping to fourth? Well, we don't know he's dropping to fourth, but I think you're saying in mock drafts because the NHL posted Stenberg is going fourth when he is the second best player in the draft. I mean, there's a lot of mock drafts out there, right? Not every mock draft has Stenberg dropping to four, but I know what you're referencing. The NHL did post something on Instagram. I believe one of their staff writers or something, projected Stenberg going fourth. I think the reason for it is historically you don't see two wingers go 1-2 in the draft very often. In terms of positions, I think centers and defensemen tend to have more of a stock. That tends to raise your stock positionally, right? More often than not, you see centers, defensemen go at the top compared to wingers. They're more prone to falling for that reason because in terms of importance, right, you probably say, center, defense, wing. Obviously, all positions are important, right? But I would say, in terms of centers, it's like you need to have both that offensive and defensive ability in your arsenal, and defensemen, playing more is less of them. So they're harder to find as well. It's harder to find those top defensemen. Wingers are probably the easiest to find in terms of there's a lot of good wingers out there. They have the least amount of responsibility out there. And it's not to say they can take the defense off. They can't. But, like, you kind of have one role for your winger, and that's either to put the puck in the net or to, feed the puck to a guy who can. So I think from that standpoint, Gavin McKenna, he's a winger. He's already going one. If you're a good enough player, you'll see Patrick Kane, you're a winger, like you'll go number one. But if there's another player who's kind of up there, center defenseman, they're normally going to get the edge, right? Especially as well, I think a lot of these, a lot of the people doing these mock drafts will look at the teams, right? Obviously, we know McKenna's going one. I think after that, there's some debate. I think with San Jose at two, there's a lot of people that are saying, well, if you look at the San Jose's back end, they don't have a lot of pieces in their defensive arsenal. They already have Macklin Celebrini. They already have Will Smith. They already have Michael Misa. They already have so many offensive weapons where picking defenseman for them would make sense, kind of similar to why the Blackhawks took Levshov in 2024, right? This is a very similar situation as 2024, right? Except we're kind of on the Montreal end of it this time, right? 2024, Demidov is the second best player in the draft. If we're just picking off a best player, Demidov should have gone too, but the Blackhawks looked at their decor and thought, we could really use a top defenseman back there. So, and Levshov was considered the best defenseman in the draft, so that's why we took him at two. Similar scenario here at the Sharks, right? Where it's like Stenberg's the second best player in this draft. Like he is. There's really no debating that. Frankly, some people have him ranked ahead of McKenna points of the year, but his stock kind of fell a bit as the year progressed, and McKenna's got higher. But Yeah, I mean, Stenberg probably should go too, but just the Sharks, they could really use a defenseman. In terms of the Canucks, there's other reasons there. Malhotra is projected by many to be the top center in the draft, so that's why he could go 3 over Stenberg as a winger. Anyway, game's underway. We are underway in this one. Canes got possession first. They won the puck drop and have the early edge. I think they got to get the first goal in this game. If you're Carolina, you got to get the first goal in this game. Vegas hasn't played from behind enough. I think if you're Carolina, you got to set the tone here. Get on the board first. Get some good shifts here to start the game because the momentum's on Vegas' side. They're on home ice. They just won the last game. They did dodge a bit of a bullet because they had a 4-0 lead, but hey, they still won the game. At the end of the day, it's like there's no points handed out in the playoffs. As long as you win the game, it doesn't really matter how you win it. So yeah, I think for Carolina, they need to get off to the better start here. I think it's very imperative for them. They got early possession so far. Board battle down low. Been a lot of that in this series. Been a very physical series. No surprise, the Stanley Cup final, right? Vegas dumps it in. It looks like this will be icing. All right. I mean, I don't think it's completely delusional. I don't think the Stenberg going to 4 thing is completely delusional. I do think it is definitely partly delusional. I do think a lot of it is just, hopium, copium from Blackhawks fans. Also, I have a big conspiracy theory, too. As somebody who's done a lot of writing the past year, the Blackhawks are a team that gets a lot of clicks. I'm not saying that these, mock draft people are having Stenberg go to 4 just to get clicks because Blackhawks fans see it and obviously it's going to interest them. Oh, Canes just scored. We are a minute into this game, and the Carolina Hurricanes have gotten on the board. 1-0 lead for Carolina. I've completely forgot about the score bug. I completely forgot about the score bug. We're a minute in this game, and Carolina has scored. I believe that is Logan Stankoven, the Stink Man. Stankoven once again putting that size myth rumor to bed. He's a 5'8 player, 5'9, well under 200 pounds. He's getting it done. Just gets the rebound there. Very nice. Right place, right time for Stankoven. Yeah, so puck missed the net, but deflects right in front of the net. Yeah, and Stankoven's just in the right place at the right time. Wins a battle there in that front. Anderson kind of lost his guy. Probably should have had him there. But very nice for Stankoven. That's 11 goals in the playoffs for him. 11 goals for Stankoven. That's impressive. That's got to be up there. I think that leads Carolina. It's been that second line. Oh, damn camera again. 1 second, chat. Camera's out. I'm trying to fix the camera here, Chad. This happened last game, too. My apologies. I will get the camera back on. Always chooses to not work at the right times, man. The wrong times. I'm trying to fix the camera here, Chad. This happened last game. All right, here we go. Camera's back on. Jeez. This happened last game, too. I don't know why it just randomly decides to shut off occasionally, but we're back on now. We're back, chat. Anyway, 1-0 Carolina, minute 30 into the game. Looks like they got power play now, too. I completely missed that because I was focusing on the camera, but yeah, Canes have a power play here. Looking to make this a 2-0 game. 3 for 4 in the last 4 power plays, so they've been pretty good here. I know the power play was kind of quiet up to this point, but they've kind of been finding some momentum of late, so we'll see if they can get on the board here and take an early 2-0 lead. That'd be pretty big for them, but they've done exactly what they need to do so far, right? They drew a call. They got a big power play. They've taken the first goal of this game. This is exactly the start you want if you're Carolina. It's exactly what you want, so see if they can convert here in the peeper. Got possession here. They turn the puck over. Here we go. Vegas the other way. Mark Stone the breakaway. Big stop. Big stop there. I believe it's Bussy and net, right? Not Anderson. I think it's Bussy and net. And they had to pull Anderson from the last game because he's having a bit of a tough one in net. But Bussy was able to kind of step in, and you only let him one. All right, Carolina's got possession here. They're cycling the puck around. Ehlers at the point. Thought he's going to turn the puck over. It didn't quite. Aho. Net front. Stopped by Hart. All right, Vegas clears the puck. About 40 seconds left in the power play. All right, Ehlers is breaking the puck out here. Actually, I have his chat box. We'll see if this works. Oh, it does. There we go. Absolute ass camera, you're right. Forgot about the chat box here. We got it back rolling now. Hopefully that's the last time it happens. It feels like it happens pretty much once a stream, so hopefully now it'll be good for the rest of the stream. That won't happen again. So normally shutting it off, shutting it back on seems to work. I don't know why it does that. It's very annoying. It works perfectly fine when I'm not streaming, by the way. When I record videos, that never happens. It's only when I do streams. And Carolina gets on the board. 2-0. Right as the power play expires. I think they were still in the power play there. Was that Jackson Blake? I believe that was Jackson Blake, not mistaken. Yes, it was. From Taylor Hall and Nikolai Ehlers. Jackson Blake with the snipe makes it 2-0 for Carolina. That's huge, man. They got 2 goals early, and we're not even 4 minutes into this game. Carolina's already got 2-0 lead. What a snipe for Blake. Very nice pass there by Hall. Taylor Hall, another Taylor Hall point, ladies and gentlemen. Another Taylor Hall point. He's been good. What is that, 17 now for Hall? I think that's 17 points for Hall. Right through the legs. Jackson Blake just, nice shot there. Good placement. Not much Hart could do about that. Net front, not much you could do about that. So, good stuff. All right, Carolina, we're making things interesting here. I like it. Making things interesting. Oh, now my TV is, now the game is paused on my TV. Now it's back. There we go. Nothing seems to want to work today, chat. Classic. But we're back now. Stream was lagging for a bit. 18 points for Taylor Hall. Leads the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, I mean, in terms of Conn Smythe, I think it's going to be one of the guys on my thumbnail. Thumbnail of his video is Taylor Hall and Mitch Marner. I think it's going to be one of those two guys. I think if, Carolina wins, it's Taylor Hall. I think if it's Vegas, it's Mitch Marner. Not just saying that because both those two lead their team in points. Those are only the obvious picks. More often than not, the Conn Smythe just goes to the player that leads his team in points. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it goes to a hot goalie, or it rarely goes to a defenseman. I think Duncan Keith, Cale Makar are the only two I can think of in recent memory. There's been more, but those are the only two modern examples I can think of. But yeah, it's been all Carolina so far. 5-1 shots, about 5 minutes in, 2-0. It's been all Carolina. Perfect start for Carolina. Exactly what they needed. If you're Vegas, I think got to stop the bleeding here. It's only 2 goals. Especially this series too. Like, no lead has been safe in this series whatsoever. So we got a long way to go here. If you're Vegas, home ice, like you're not out of this by any means. Although you do want to stop the bleeding here, ideally. Carolina keeping the pressure on here. They win the draw. Another puck on net. They're got all the pressure so far. Everything's going their way so far. Gotta keep it going though, right? As we know, both these teams score goals in bunches. We saw it last game. So, Carolina got 2 quick ones. Vegas could very easily get a couple quick ones themselves. So, for Carolina, you can't afford to sit back and protect the lead. You got to keep the aggression meter high here. Got to keep the possession, the ozone time. Keep peppering them with shots because Hart's look kind of shaky so far. So just keep getting shots on net here. All right. Oh, I forgot the goal. Yeah. The camera thing fucked me. I'm a bit out of sync here. I think that the time's probably off too. Yeah, it is. All right, we got 2 now. The camera going out kind of got me out of order, but we're back now. I'll eventually get the time synced up. I'm just going to pause it for a while. I think it's about a minute off. Vegas shot. They miss. Ashton Anderson, probably the best chance for Vegas so far. Vegas finally getting some time in the zone themselves here. After a bit of a slow start, they're finally starting to get going. Nope, net front chance there. Might have a goal. Nope, not quite. Must he's able to shut the door. Best chance for Vegas so far. I had a net front chance there. Here comes Carolina the other way. Hart makes a stop. This second line's been so good for Carolina, man. It's been this Taylor Hall, Stankov, and Blake line. It's been so good for them. They definitely generate most of the offense so far. Been a very good line for Carolina. It's effectively been their top line so far. The top line's actually been kind of quiet. They've started to get going in this series, but the Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis line's been kind of quiet so far. It's definitely that Hall, Stanko, and Blake line that's gotten most of the production done for Carolina so far. As for Vegas, the Marner line's obviously been dynamic, and Eichel one as well. Really, all the lines have been good for them. They've been able to roll 4, man. It's just having that depth, man. That's what separates the champions from the pretenders. The most important thing in the playoffs is having depth. Look at those 2010s Blackhawks teams. It's a perfect example of that. Okay, we got the time matched up now. 2010s Blackhawks, yeah, they had such an elite core, but like they also had depth. You know, they had 4 lines that could roll, 3 D pairs, dependable netminders. Really no weaknesses of those teams. And yeah, both these teams are just perfectly built playoff teams. Especially, yeah, I mean, Carolina, they've always had such good depth. Good systems as well. Oh, nice pass there. Here comes Stone. Oh, Mark Stone gets on the board for Vegas. We'll put a goal on the board for Vegas. Damn. Well, that's the response they needed. That's the response they needed. Vegas gets on the board. Very nice move by Mark Stone there. Kind of was able to deke out Bussy. And Vegas gets on the board. 2-1 hockey game. Just like that. 1-goal game. They do say the 2-goal lead is most dangerous lead in hockey. They do say that. Nice deke by Mark Stone there. Vegas needed that one. They needed to. I mean, all the momentum has been on Carolina's side so far. So Vegas definitely needed a response, and they got one. Nice move there. What a breakout pass. Who was that? I believe that was Shea Theodore. What a breakout pass by Shea Theodore to find Stone there. That was beautiful. Able to kind of expose the Carolina defense there, which doesn't get exposed often. I mean, Brendan Moore has been known to have a very, one of the top structures in the league there. They don't give you much, Carolina. You rarely see their defense get exposed like that. Although Vegas has a star power to kind of win those battles, right? Those one-on-ones between Eichel, between Marner, between Stone. A lot of talent in this team that could kind of match up against Carolina. 2-1 hockey game. Oh, start the clock again. 2-1 hockey game. Here comes Carolina again. Oh, broken up. Vegas has possession now. Brett Howden line on the ice. That's been a dangerous one. Vegas definitely has momentum now. That goal definitely got some life into this team, into the building. Yeah, man, this series has been so back and forth, man. I remember a lot of people saying before the series that wasn't going to be a very interesting one, but I don't know, man. I've been pretty entertained. I think it's been a pretty entertaining series so far. I don't know about you. I think it's been pretty fun to watch. 2 very good teams going at it here. I mean, it's a Stanley Cup. I mean, of course, they're going to be pretty good teams. It's pretty rare to see a cup final that's not interesting. It doesn't matter what teams are there. Like any given year, the teams that are in the cup final are going to give you an interesting matchup. Of course, some finals are better than others, but like, is there ever really a bad cup final? Like, I'm trying to think of one. I mean, last year, the Oilers-Panthers finals were absolute cinema. The Colorado Lightning one was good. You know what? The Vegas Panthers one was kind of mid. That one was kind of mid. The Lightning COVID finals are kind of mid, actually, yeah. Who'd they play? They played Montreal and Dallas. Those ones were kind of blah, but you know what? Because like there weren't a lot of fans in the stands. I mean, 2020 there were no fans in the stands. 2021 was limited, and it was kind of a different format that year. But yeah, I mean, 2019 was cinema, Bruins, Blues. I mean, I didn't like the teams in the final, but it was a cinema final. 2018 Caps, Golden Knights. That one was kind of mid, but like Ovechkin won, so that was cool to see him get that cup. The Penguins ones I think are pretty interesting. They played the Sharks and the Predators. Those ones are pretty interesting. Obviously, Blackhawks Bullets was cinema. 2014 Kings Rangers. That one's kind of mid. The Rangers probably shouldn't have gone that far. Should have been the Blackhawks that year. 13 Blackhawks Bruins. That was obviously cinema. 17 seconds. 2012 Kings Devils. That was decent. 2011 Bruins Canucks. That one was. I don't think Vancouver enjoyed that one too much. They burned their city down. 2010 Blackhawks Philly was, of course, cinema. That's as far back as I'll go. I could keep going, but I mean, that's pretty much every final like I remember watching, right? I'd say 2010 is really the year that made me a fan for obvious reasons. Patrick Kane's, OT winner, 7-year-old me, that made me a fan for life. So it's really since then that I've been heavily invested in this game as someone who's played it, someone who's covered it, and pretty much made it, my main priority in life. So, yeah, thank you, Patrick Kane. Thank you, Showtime. 16 years ago today, by the way, that Patrick Kane 2010 goal happened 16 years ago today. 16 years. How about that, chat? That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. Just makes me feel so old. 16 years. Jeez. Yeah. Just let the Canucks versus the Hawks in the last place final because Stanley Cup final is a boring name. I think you mean boring matchup, I guess. I mean, the games are fun, but like in terms of aura, Carolina, Vegas, like you could probably do better than that. Like they're not the most, in terms of history, prestige, that type of thing, tradition, they're two southern markets, right? Um, and Blackhawks Vancouver won't even, work because, they're in the same conference. But I understand what you're going for. They should do that to determine the first pick. They should do they should do a tournament of the teams that missed the playoffs to get the first pick. That'd be kind of fun. They'd never do that, but like that'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, do a 16 team lottery playoff. Yeah. To determine the first pick in like the draft order for the top 16. Then, the rest of it can be the usual, obviously the team gets their pick when they're eliminated for the playoffs. Anyway, back underway here. I forgot the clock again. Drinking game every time I forget the clock. Take a shot every time that happens. All right. Carolina looking to get some momentum back. Vegas definitely took a bit of the wind out of their sails, but they're looking to get back, get that fire back. Still got the lead. Vegas got possession right now. Looking to drive the net. Good coverage by Carolina. I get the puck out. Vegas turns it over. Carolina dumps the puck back in. Vegas looking to break the puck out here. I turn it over. Looking to reassess again. They turn over again. Good neutral zone play by Carolina, shutting off these passes. Now they're forechecking. The Carolina forecheck, man, is just so relentless. Just like dogs in a bone there. The team works hard, man. Brendan Moore's got his boys working hard. They got a shot on net. Pretty straightforward save for Hart. Carolina pressuring again. Bit of a sharp angle shot there. It wasn't much. Pretty straightforward save for Hart once again. Vegas dumps it in. Chatfield reassesses. Carolina gets a change. Looking to break the puck out here. All right, here comes Carolina. Oh, what a move. Yeah, lost the puck, though. Taylor Hall line out there. Been the most dangerous line for Carolina. Jankowski looking for Hall. Wasn't able to convert. Vegas dumps it in. What a pass by Howden. Finds Marner. I turn it over, though. Carolina back the other way. Oh, it's going to be a breakaway there for Hall. Oh. But Vegas able to cut off the pass. Here they come the other way. Brett Howden. He's been dangerous, man. Been playing with Marner a lot. Been the two most dangerous players for Vegas. Yeah, I definitely see a lot of 2013 Brian Bickle and Brett Howden. Just been that, I mean, I guess he hasn't been playing the bottom six lately, but like he's typically a bottom six player, but like he's been one of Vegas's better players. I mean, he literally leads the team in goals. That's how good he's been. I always thought Brian Bickle should have won the Conn Smythe in 2013. Like Kane was great that year, don't get me wrong. 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points, 23 games. Had the heartbreaker, had a lot of great moments, don't get me wrong, but man, Bickle, man, he had 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 points in 23 games. Like, he was so good in those playoffs. Obviously, he was a part of the 17 seconds as well, him and Dave Bowen. Vegas. A big save by Bussy. Dorofeyev, it looked like had a net front chance there. Gets the puck back. Vegas blocks the next shot. They cover. Crawford as well. I think Crawford also had an argument in 2013. Like, I love Kane, but he was probably the Hawks' third best player in those playoffs. 2010, Taves definitely deserved it. I think you could argue Kane as well. He had the game winner and was only a point behind Taves. He had 28 points that year. Kane definitely had an argument in 2010, but it goes between him and Taves. I think you could go either way there. 2015, Keith was, no doubter. I mean, he was so good in those playoffs. He had the GWG versus Tampa in the last game, and nearly just under a point per game as a defenseman in the playoffs is ridiculous. So Keith definitely deserved 2015. I would argue that was the most impressive Conn Smythe run of those Blackhawks. I'd probably rank it Keith 1, Taves 2, Kane 3. This camera again, dude. All right, trying to fix the camera again, chat. Doesn't want to work today, it looks like. That's great. Simply lovely. Oh, Jesus. Technical difficulties again, chat. Working on it. Working on it. God bless America. Why does nothing want to work today? Don't be a fool. Let's get fixed next time. It's not happening again. Working on it, chat. Ugh, this damn camera. Why did the screen disappear?
Not working. Oh wait, this is the wrong thing.
We're back. We're back. Jesus Christ, this camera. Oh, all right, we're back. Second time, but hopefully that's the last. I don't know. It just keeps turning off for no reason. I don't understand. I mean, it's never happened to me when I record videos. I don't understand why it's happening during the streams. It only happened once last game. It was a 4-hour, 30-minute game. It went to double overtime. It only happened once the whole game, but twice in the first period it's happened. I have no idea what's causing it. Not a tech wizard, but anyway, we're back. Hopefully that's the last time it happens. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, back into the game. 2-1 Carolina, about 12 minutes in. They got possession right now, 10-4 shots for Carolina. Carolina dumps it in. Vegas turns the puck over. They dump it in. Game's kind of settling down a bit here. There's a whistle. Now I got to get the clock back working again because of the damn camera not wanting to work. That's simply lovely. Love that. Where are we at here? How many minutes behind are we? Actually, I got to stop the camera, I think. Yeah. I'll add a minute to it. There we go. Now we're back. My mom was in Vancouver while the Game 7 finished. She was 10 minutes away from the arena. Oh, she was there when the riots are going on? Damn, that's nuts. Well, I'm glad she got out of it okay. All right, Carolina's got another power play. Chance to get that 2-goal lead back. They got a 2-goal lead in the last power play, looking to convert again. I think they're 4 for 5 in the last 5 power plays, so their power play's been good of late. All right, Sebastian Aho looking at his options. Go, shot from the point. Oh, Jordan Stahl. There we go. 3-1 Carolina. Jordan Stahl off the rebound, off the point shot. And Carolina gets on the board. Let's go. All right, their 2-goal lead has been brought back. Big. 2 for 2 in the power play. Their power play was quiet for a while, but it's definitely got going of late in these finals. It's showing up when it's mattered. Point shot there from Ghost. And Jordan Stahl cleans up the garbage. Very nice. Right place, right time. I like to see Stahl get a cup, man. I mean, he did win one with Pittsburgh in 2009, but it's been 17 years. I'd like to see him get another as captain of the Hurricanes, just like his brother Eric Stahl, right? He won a cup of Carolina in 06, so it'd be cool to see Jordan get one in 26 at Carolina. Be nice to see that happen. All right, 3-1 Carolina, 7 minutes left in the first. Carolina's had most of the shots so far, 11-4. Looking to keep her going. That's big, man. Good for them to get that Geico insurance back for that multi-goal lead. See if they can keep it this time. All right, Vegas looking to respond here. How about that 4-goal first period as well? It's been a high-scoring series. I mean, we've had 5-4, 4-3, 5-4 games so far. Been a very high-scoring series so far, which you wouldn't expect for a cup final, right? You know, Stanley Cup final you normally think would be low-scoring defensive hockey, but this has been kind of regular season-esque, right? A lot of goal scoring both ways. Been very back and forth. Yeah. What you love to see. I'm happy to see it personally. I forgot the clock again. But yeah, I'm happy to see it. It's been a lot of action so far. And a lot of people, weren't very excited for this cup final, but I think it's been very good so far. All right, Carolina dumps the puck in. Carolina breaking it out. All right, some neutral zone play here. You got a whistle. I catch up with Chad. I've been missing chat for a bit. When is the year the Hawks make the playoffs and the year they make the final and win? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it depends on. I'm basing next year's answer based on what the roster looks like today. I think a lot depends on what happens this summer, obviously. I think the Hawks can make the playoffs next year. I think it's possible. Like, I think, it might be asking for a lot, but if Bedard and Nazar could stay healthy next year, which they weren't able to do this year, I think full season of Frundell, full season of Kancherov. You got to think they're going to make a top 6 forward edition, probably a top 4 defensive edition as well. Spencer Knight, he could have another good season. The young guys are going to keep getting better. You got to think the Lardises, the Moores, they're going to make steps in their game, the Greens. I think what I worry about is the defense. The defense has to be better. It was a struggle this past year because it's just such a young decor, but I think if the defense can show progress, I think they make the playoffs next year. It would be like, second wild card spot. Like they'd be narrowly making it. They have to find like 10 wins and 20 points, which it might sound like a lot, but I mean, the Sharks improved by over 30 points this past year. So, I do think the Hawks, a healthy team, more reinforcements. Plus, we don't know what's happening in the draft, too. Like, I think they could get, high 30, low 40, 30-ish to 40-ish, high 30, low 40 in terms of wins. And then, yeah, like low 90 points, something like that. I think they could be in the 90-ish point range. I mean, a lot has to go right. Like, I know, like, a lot has to go right because it's still going to be such a young team. So, like, it's asking for a lot, I know. But, like, these rebuilds tend to happen. Like, they tend to kind of come out of it quicker than you expect. And it tends to happen pretty quickly when it does happen. Look at Buffalo this past year, right? Buffalo, they just kind of figured it out this year. And I think with the Blackhawks, Ducks as well. Like, the Ducks just kind of happened. Sharks, too, to a certain extent. So, yeah, I think the Hawks are kind of due for it, right? Obviously, they've been out of it the past few years, and it kind of feels like they're due for a bit of an explosion here. First half of the year looked like we were getting it, right? First half of the year, we were kind of getting it, and the injuries happened. So, yeah, I think, you need your top guns to stay healthy and be playing at your best, but I think it's possible. In terms of final, that's a while away, I think it's going to be a few years until they're a true cup contender. It's just such a young team, such a young group. So it's going to take some time to experience reps, and probably a lot of moves to make as well. So I think that's a ways away. But if they're in the playoffs next year, the year after, probably a couple years after that, I think you want to be in the conversation probably, by 2030 for that regard. I think that's doable. I mean, that's only 4 years away. So you probably want to be, playoffs like 2028, if it's not next year, it has to be 2028. I do think next year they have to be close. Not saying they have to be in it, but like they have to be close. They can't be bottom 2 again. They can't. If we're bottom 2 again next year, I think you got to start, you got to start asking some questions if they're bottom 2 again next year. I don't think they will be, but I think no reason to panic right now. There's no reason to panic right now, but if we're still in this position next year, I think there is reason to panic. So, but yeah, I think, 27, 28 be in the playoffs and 29, 30 be a true contender. Yeah. All right, back at the game. Still 3-1 Carolina, 4 minutes in the first. Carolina's up 12-4 in shots so far. They have most of the chances, opportunities so far. They've been the better team so far. On the only 2-goal lead, so Vegas is very much still in this. A lot of hockey left to be played. Where does the finals rank so far in the scale? Where does the finals rank so far in the scale? Like, what scale? Like, are we talking like modern finals? Like, I assume not all time. I think right now, like, it's on the upper echelon in terms of finals I've watched in my lifetime. Yeah, I've watched every Cup final since 2010, and I think it'd be in the upper half. I think right now it'd be in the upper half. Um, Obviously a long way to go. We're probably only halfway through, but I mean, it's kind of everything you want so far. We've had 2 overtime games, 2 out of 3 games going overtime. Every game's been decided by 1 goal. We've had comebacks, we've had physicality, we've had goal scoring, we've had everything so far. So yeah, I'd say right now the only thing is like the matchup. I do think the matchup holds it back, but it's been good. Like the on ice product has been good, but like the fact that it's Vegas and Carolina does sort of hold it back a bit. I think if this final was, you know, Oilers Leafs, I think it'd be getting a lot more buzz right now. The same type of hockey being played in the ice, but if it was two completely different teams, that have more like, traction at the league, I think it'd probably get more credit. But I think it's just the fact that it's two Southern teams is probably not getting talked about as much as it should be. Um, I don't think it should be getting talked about more because I think, especially compared to the NBA Finals too, I think it's been more interesting. And I do think the ratings should still be pretty decent because it is Olympic year, and I do think the playoffs have been getting better ratings compared to past years. It'll be interesting to see how the final is though, because there's no Canadian team, there's no original six team. There's really no big market team here in that regard, so I'm not sure if that's going to affect it. We'll see. But no, in terms of the actual game itself, I think it's been a great final so far. I'd say it's top upper half, of the finals I've seen at least. I mean, all time, who knows? All right, Vegas looking to respond here, looking to get their 1 goal deficit back. I swear the Blackhawks better not trade Nazar. Um, yeah, I mean, I hope not too. I still think it's more likely they don't. I mean, Nazar, he signed a 7-year extension last summer. The team clearly loves him, management loves him, players love him, fans love him. I mean, all the content they've done with Bedard and Nazar, Pedzar, like just the PR perspective as well, man. Like he's clearly a well liked guy. I think he's a future leader. I think he's gonna be a future star in the NHL. So, but that being said, though, like if the Blackhawks are indeed gonna be playing Bedard, Frundell, and Nazar at center next year, which I did a video on that today if you haven't seen it. If Frank Nazar is gonna be a third line center for this team, like I don't know if he's still an untouchable asset anymore. Like I wouldn't consider a third line center an untouchable asset. It's probably then just Bedard, Frundell, and Knight then. Like I had Nazar as untouchable, but if he's not going to be playing in the top 6, I don't know. And Frank Nazar is the guy, if the Blackhawks are looking to acquire a star this summer, like he is the guy that could easily get the biggest return. Like what's an Oliver Moore, Ryan Green, Nick Lardis really going to get you? None of them are really proven yet. They've all shown flashes, but like Nazar is the most proven of the guys you'd probably be willing to give up for the right price. It'd have to be really worth your while though. Like I view Nazar probably in a similar light as Toronto views Matthew Nyes. Like I'm not shopping Frank Nazar. Like, I consider him a core guy. But if a team is willing to give the right offer, I'll at least listen. It doesn't mean I'm going to make the deal, but I'll at least listen to you. Like, I'm not going to hang up the phone if I hear his name, but it has to be a trade extremely worthwhile. Like, you're talking about, top line, star winger that can play at Bedard. Um, I'm not giving up Frank Nazar for easy. Because I think he's a guy too that could do everything, right? Power play, penalty kill. He's a top six type player, but he works like a bottom sixer. It's probably why that's why you can play him at the third line and can still be successful because he does have that sort of bottom six work ethic of a guy that doesn't take a shift off, doesn't take breaks when it comes to producing offense. He doesn't take off in the defensive zone. Obviously, he's very speedy, does a bit of everything. So yeah, I think he's a perfect utility guy too. Where it's like I think they could change too. Like just because that's a plan right now, like the plan right now is Nazar to be the 3C. Like Hawks can still play him on the wing if they need to. Like if they need to move him in the top 6 and play him on the wing, like they'll do it. Yeah, so like I think I don't think it's necessarily set in stone that he's absolutely going to be the 3C. I think that's open to changes in the future. So we'll see. Do you think if they get bottom 2, the GM and coach get fired bottom 2 next season? Um, well, if Davidson's still here, Blashill definitely gets canned. Because you get a short leash these days, man. Like coaches get such a short leash these days. Like, I mean, there's very few coaches in the NHL that have been with their team for a long time. Like, you get a couple of years, man. It seems like a lot of coaches, you get 2 to 3 years. If you're not showing that progress and then, the short term, like, you're gone. Um, NHL might be the most ruthless in that regard now. I mean, NFL is pretty ruthless too. But yeah, you get a very short leash in the NHL these days if you're a head coach. So yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, I mean, ownership, I mean, they just extended Davidson. They just gave him a multi-year extension. But like, I don't think that necessarily lowers the pressure. Because yeah, I mean, Davidson came in, 5 years ago, right? He said he had a 5-year plan, 5-year rebuild plan when he took over and put this team in a rebuild in 2022. If 5 years later from that plan, the Blackhawks are still a bottom 2 team, they haven't progressed. I mean, if you're Danny Wirtz in ownership, yeah, this time next year, if we're in the same position, I do think you have to probably consider making a change. Absolutely. I mean, Bedard, it's going to be year 4, Bedard. I mean, he's going to be freshly extended. And I mean, Blackhawks haven't made the playoffs since 2020, really 2017. 2020 really don't count. I mean, that was a COVID year. They were a 23rd place team. They weren't going to make the playoffs if the pandemic didn't happen. Really, it's this time next year, it's going to be 10 years since the Blackhawks really made the playoffs. And we've been rebuilding for 5 years now. So yeah, if they're bottom 2 for what is that? Going to be the 4th year in a row, 5th year they've been bottom 3. You're not getting better. No, I think you got to make a change. Oh, Taylor Hall, breakaway for Taylor Hall, and he's denied. Big stop there for Hart. Big stop for Hart. No, he doesn't, because he had the 5-year plan and before the 2022-23 season. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the last year. Yeah, he has 1 year left. 5 years. Yeah, 27, 22, 5 years. Taylor Hall denied the breakaway. Damn, that would have been nice to make it 4-1 for Carolina, get that 3-goal lead. 20 seconds left here to maybe get something for Carolina. Ozone draw. See if they can win this draw and get a few chances here. Wow, first period of this series, Hurricanes have outshot Vegas 41-13. That's insane. Yeah, they're definitely a team that generates a lot of shots, man, 40 a game. A bad turnover there. Vegas clears. They should get out of this period scotch-free then. Oh, bad turnover there. Vegas might get one chance here. About 10 seconds left. They might get one more chance. No, looks like clock's going to expire. Oh, man, they just scored, but I think, did the clock expire? Did they get that in time? Vegas, a potential buzzer beater. Looks like they have this. I thought the clock expired. Brady McNabb seems to think he has one. He had a slapper there. I'm not going to count it yet because I think the clock expired. Really? Did it not? I guess Vegas has a goal here. I could have swore the clock expired. Well, that clock has to be. No, it's no goal. Right? I need to see it again. No, that's no goal. Clock expired. No, it's no goal. Yeah, no goal. I saw that one. Yeah. If it was NBA rules, you get the shot off before the clock, that counts. But that's not NBA rules. The puck has to cross the line before the buzzer. So they're taking another look at it, but I don't think this should count for Vegas. Yeah, very clearly is 0.0 on the clock, so it should be good there. Tough call for Vegas there, man. Literally one more second, they have it. Yeah, no goal. They confirmed it. Tough break for Vegas. Can't say I'm too upset about that. Yeah, no, I'm not. All right, let me change the period to period 2. That's the end of the first period. Carolina's got a 3-1 lead so far. Good start for Carolina. Nearly a perfect period. 2-goal lead. You're Vegas, though, you're only down 2, so very much still a game here. But that's a start that Carolina needed in this one. I think they have to play with the lead. I think they have to set the tone. Have Vegas kind of on their heels a bit, right? Have them chase the game a bit, chase the series, because so far Vegas has been in control. So first period, a while, Carolina did have that 4-goal, period the last game, but I'd say that's the first game in a while that Carolina had a better start. They needed that one. How we doing, chat? Roman Kantrov better save KD. Yeah, I mean, he's an X factor, man. Roman Kantrov is definitely an X factor. Like, we don't know exactly what kind of impact he's going to have in next year's team, right? I think he's definitely the biggest X factor in next year's Blackhawks. Either him or Frundell. Those are your two X factors. I think, a full season of Frundell, Kantrov, there's a lot of potential there. Because those two are going to be in the top 6 all year. Kantrov, like, especially, like, he's, definitely going to be, either first line Bedard or second line Frundell. Could even do third line of Nazar. But no, Kantrov should absolutely be a top 6 lock. And I think that's a big X factor because, like, Bedard hasn't had his guy yet, right? He hasn't had his true wingman yet. I think Kantrov could be our best bet there. I think there's a good chance Kantrov could be that guy for him. And if he is, that's going to have a massive impact on his team next year. Like, you're going to get a lot more wins that way. And Frundell, like, he just came in at the end of the year. Like, we don't know what a full year, the impact that full year Frundell is going to have on this team. If Bedard or Frundell can be that, 1-2 center punch down the middle, Nazar 2, Kantrov could come in, be kind of in that rookie of the year conversation. Full season Nick Lardis, like, if he can take that, a few steps forward in his game. Oliver Moore, he could stay healthy, take another step in his game. Ryan Green's going to be in his sophomore year. Like, how much better is he going to get? Like, there's a lot of potential here. A lot of it is potential based. A lot of the Blackhawks' success is completely hypothetical. There's not a lot of certainty. But there's a lot of potential, and, like, a lot of teams don't even have that. So, like, we're in a much better position. Like, that's the thing too. It's like you kind of either want to be up here or down here. Like, the Hawks for many years are kind of stuck in the middle of Bowman, right? Like, that's kind of the worst place to be. The worst place to be is like 20th to 23rd, where it's like you're not contending for a playoff spot, but you're also not like bottom barrel, like getting top picks either. So, like, the Blackhawks, I know it's been tough in the short term, but, like, they've set themselves up for success of all the players that they've acquired, this young talent pool they've built. Like, the suffering should lead to some long-term success here. It's just, the process of getting there is just extremely painful. But, that's how rebuilds tend to work these days, unfortunately. So, I mean, it was the same way 2 decades ago, man. Like, the Hawks went through a very similar process, 2 decades ago. So, worked out very good then. We'll see if it works out again this time around. Oh my goodness, man. Again? Third time. I am so sorry, chat. This is embarrassing. If this happens a few more times, I think I'm going to call it today because this is getting ridiculous. This camera. Absolute ass camera. Absolute ass, man. I have no clue what's causing this. I mean, I literally recorded a video today. I've never had any issues in recording. I don't understand why these live streams, this thing doesn't want to work. I don't get it, man, but I'll keep working on it. No, forgot to turn my mic back on. This has just been an absolute disaster. Camera's going out 3 times. My goodness, man. I don't know why. The first stream was fine. Like, I didn't have a problem until the overtime. It was fine. I don't know why it's not working today, but it's just gone out 3 times for no reason. But I promise next time, whatever problem I'm having, I'll have it sorted and it won't happen again next time. So, just iron out some kinks here. Maybe I have to use a different camera for the live streams. I don't know. Maybe this one's just not good for live streams. I don't know why it would work fine for recording but not work well for the streams. No idea. Yeah, I'll get it worked out. I've just started this live stream thing now, so I'm working out kinks. That's why I'm doing this now and not, I'm not starting the live streams for the Blackhawks. This is all about experimentation right now, right? We're learning right now. This is like, this is preparation for next year, right? If I'm doing this for Blackhawks games next year, I'd rather these problems happen now than when I'm doing Blackhawks games because those are more important because this is primarily a Blackhawks channel. I do NHL content too, but this is mostly a Blackhawks channel. So, anyway. It's intermission, so it's not that deep. So I'd rather it happen in intermission than during the game. Yeah. Incredible first period to watch. Yeah, it was a good first period. I mean, there hasn't really been a bad period in this series. Like, this has been a great series so far. I mean, it's been a lot of action. Like I said earlier, this series has delivered everything so far that you can want in a cup final matchup. It's had everything. Good storylines between Mitch Marner and Taylor Hall and John Tortorella coming in, and there's a lot of good storylines here. It's been back and forth action. It's been a lot of goals. It's been a lot of skill both ways, and the games have been close. Like the games have been ridiculously close. They're two evenly matched teams. So no, it's been a lot of fun to watch so far. Oliver Moore is getting very high praise from a lot of NHL players that have won cups and stuff. Yeah, you're referencing Matthew Tkachuk. Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk had some really high words for Oliver Moore. He did play with them in the World Championships this past year. That U.S. team wasn't very good. They didn't send a very good team to the Worlds this year, but no, Oliver Moore did play well in the tournament, and he played a lot with Matthew Tkachuk in the tourney. And yeah, Tkachuk had a lot of very nice things to say. I mean, I don't want to try to quote him, but I believe he said that Oliver Moore is going to be a 15-year star in the National Hockey League, which, coming from a guy like that, is saying something. Because, Matthew Tkachuk, if you know Matthew Tkachuk, like, he's not the type of guy that just compliment anyone. Like, he's a very honest guy, very brutally honest, kind of like Max Verstappen-esque. Like, he's not the guy who sugarcoats things or just talks to talk. If Matthew Tkachuk is saying that you're going to be a star in the NHL, like, that's, that means something. That's not just any player saying it. So a guy like that who's just won cups and has been one of the best players in the league in this era. I know a lot of people don't like Matthew Tkachuk, but like I've always liked him, and I think him saying something like that means a lot. So, but no, I think too, like just as a fan too, like you could see it, just the skill he has in his game, the pace he has in his game. Very good defensively. I think he has an offensive ceiling too. Like we haven't seen it yet, but like he has a nice shot. Good playmaker, good vision, drives play, good motor on him. If he could just work in his finishing, man, like similar to Ryan Green, like if Oliver Moore can just learn how to finish, like oh my goodness, man, like he can be really good hockey player, man, really good piece here. Really, he could be a core guy, absolutely. But he does have some areas to get to before we reach that point. I think that's a ways away, but he absolutely has the potential for sure. But yeah, like you like to see stuff like that, man. You definitely like to see that. Inject it into my veins. Inject it into my veins, man. Catch up with the chat. How are we doing, chat? Enjoying the game so far? How are we feeling with the series right now? Do we still think it's Vegas's, or think Carolina can come back? How are we feeling? What's our gut say is going to happen here? I think Carolina, like this game has gone, the plan so far. Keep playing like this, they could easily, come back in the series. I mean, you win this game, it's a tie series, so they're only one game back. So I know people are very quick to kind of give the keys to Vegas after last game, but like we got a long way to go here. We're not even, we're not even halfway through. I guess game 4 we are halfway through. But yeah, long way to go here. Only halfway there. Yeah, first period recap here. Stankoven got on the board for Carolina, made it 1-0. Jackson Blake got on the board for Carolina, made 2-0. It was actually after the power play. I thought that was a power play goal, but the power play actually expired. So those were two even strength goals. Mark Stone got on the board for Vegas, made 2-1. And Jordan Staal on the power play made 3-1. 3-1 lead for Carolina so far. 14-6 shots after one. So they've had most of the chances, most of the possession so far. Yeah, good game so far, though. Not surprised. It's a cup game. Of course it's going to be a good game. Like, two pretty good teams going at it. My prediction could still happen. Just score 4 unanswered, Vegas. Oh, you said 5-3 Vegas? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they did score 4 unanswered last game. Well, actually, they had the first 4 goals. So I guess, well, yeah, I mean, that is 4 unanswered. So, yeah, they could do it again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could easily come back. I mean, they have home ice. These two teams score in bunches, man. So, I mean, Vegas could easily get, a succession of goals and tie this game up, get the lead back. They could easily do it for sure. Hopefully, be a smooth stream from here. Hopefully, no more issues. Can't believe we're already not even halfway through this game. My camera's gone out 3 times, but hopefully, the rest of this game will just go smoothly. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah. How we doing? How's everyone doing on this Tuesday night? Been a pretty chill day for me. I've gotten some content done. Got a video done today for the Blackhawks. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I did a video today talking about Blackhawks likely to run Bedard, Frendel, Nazar all at center next year. So did a video on that, kind of share my thoughts on that. That was a pretty good video. Enjoyed that. Otherwise, been a chill day. I've gotten some articles done. Got a workout in, so it's been a solid day so far. Yeah. And yeah, we got a cup game to watch here tonight, so can't be a bad day if there's a Stanley Cup Finals game on. It just simply can't. I do miss when I used to watch the Blackhawks this time of year. I miss watching the Hawks this time of year, man. Those were the days. Childhood me was so spoiled, man. I mean, having those 2010s Blackhawks teams, we were spoiled. I mean, it's to think about the ripple down effect too. Like, would I be as big of a fan of the game of hockey if not for the 2010s Blackhawks? Like, no chance. No chance if not for that team. Like, I'd be doing everything I'd be doing. Like 2010s Blackhawks, Patty Kane, Taves, Keith, Seabrook, John Merson, Crawford, Sharp, all these guys. Like, they made me a fan of this game for life and this team for life. It's why even after all these years of suffering the past few years, it's like, but we had that. Like how many fans get to see their team win 3 cups in their lifetime? Yes, I was a stupid kid who didn't really know what he was watching, but like, still, like, I'd rather get those cups as a kid than not at all. I mean, like we're very blessed. I think it's easy to kind of get down these past few years, but it's like it wasn't that long ago. Like 2015 was only 11 years ago, which I mean, only 11. I guess that's a decade plus, but we're not that far removed from those times. And I do think they're coming back. I'm not saying the Bedard era is going to see 3 cups in 6 years, but I do think playoff hockey isn't as far away as people think. And I do think, with Bedard, a very good chance we do win a cup one of these years. So again, well, we'll see. We got a long way to go to get to that point. A long way to go. And it's far from a guarantee. It's hard to win today, man. That's what made those teams so special. Like, to win at 3 cups in 6 years in the modern NHL with the salary cap the way it is and the way these teams are constructed, the way the parity is in the NHL, the playoff system, the hardest playoffs to win in sports. Like, to win 3 cups in 6 years, like, such a feat. So it's why when people complain about the Hawks being called a modern day dynasty, it's like, because you just don't see that anymore. Yeah, the Panthers did win back to back. Lightning won back to back, but those were COVID cups, so those half count for me. Penguins did win back to back, but like 3 cups in 6 years. I mean, Penguins did win. I guess they won 3 and 8? Yeah, 3 and 8, 3 and 9. But yeah, I mean, hard to. It was hard. I mean, I think the 2010s Blackhawks are the most, probably the strongest team of this era, of the modern era. Definitely the salary cap era for sure. It's gonna be hard to replicate that, man. Out with me, it's tough. You rarely see that, man. That's why you don't want to take. You can't take it for granted, man. Every year I always rewatch those playoffs. Every year I rewatch all the runs, all the goals. I try to relive it at least once a year. It's nostalgia, man. Nostalgia. It brings people together. And it gets us through these tough times. Nostalgia gets us through these tough times in the present. Yeah. I miss it, man. I miss those days. I miss like watching games and being stressed. Like these last few years, like how many games can you say you've really been stressed for watching the Blackhawks? Like when you're kind of in the basement every year, like the games just don't have as much meaning. Like that same level of intensity is not there. That same level of being invested in the game. It's just not the same. I miss just being stressed watching hockey games. It's weird to miss the stress, but like, yeah, I do miss it. I miss like the games feeling like they have stakes. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm loyal to this team too. That's why it's not as tough, right? It'd be tougher to stand by this, like, had I not had those championship winning teams as a kid, right? And I not known like what it's like, how special it is to have that type of team and to chase that feeling every year. And like just to trust the process and knowing like no matter how much suffering how many tough years you go through. It's like if you can get back to that level, it's worth it, you know? Like all those tough years are worth it if you can get back to that. So that's kind of what keeps you in it. It's like I don't think also too like I don't think you can fully appreciate the good times if you're not willing to go through the bad times. Like what drives me nuts is the people that disappear when the Blackhawks aren't relevant when they're bad. They're nowhere to be seen. And you know when the Blackhawks are back in the playoffs very soon here and are back in the conversation, those people are going to come back from the dead and they're going to act like they've been here the whole time. Those people, a lot of those are the same people too that have been clowning this process the whole time. Um, those are the same people that have been saying that, oh, Bedard's not all that, Davidson's got to be fired, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Those same people when this team turns it around are going to be, saying, oh, I believed in this process the whole time. I've always believed in Bedard. I've always been here. Like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. You know, there's going to be a lot of those people the next few years. So, I mean, look, it's obviously, it's good to have as much fans as possible, but the people that have gone through this, the people that have been willing to watch the rebuilding Blackhawks and stick by, watch these games and still be invested in the team even when at the bottom, like those are the true fans. Like those are the true fans right there. I mean, I could think about, especially, I could think back to my childhood days and like everybody in my class would be talking about the Blackhawks in the playoffs. And all those people, and I would be kind of the ringleader of that because like I was always the hockey guy. I was always the Blackhawks guy. That was always a joke of me. Like, oh, it's, I was obsessed with hockey, yada, yada. And it's true. Like, look at what I'm doing, right? But yeah, like anytime that I would come up, we'd always talk about hockey and the Blackhawks. But like everybody in my class was invested. And like those same people, I never hear them talk about the Hawks these days. Like you won't even know if they exist. Like these past few years, it's like they're like, yeah, they're gone. And those same people, when the Blackhawks are a playoff team again, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back and be like, oh, I was there the whole time. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. So yeah, don't act like, I'm not saying, by the way, too, like, you're allowed to appreciate it if you weren't there, but like just don't act like you were though. You know what I mean? Don't sugarcoat it. Just be honest. Hey, I'm a bandwagoner. Just say it. That's cool. Every team, especially Chicago, original six team, like you're gonna have bandwagon fans. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But just don't act like you were some hardcore guy who went through it like you weren't. Like, just be real. I'm not gonna act like I'm not that way with like other sports, by the way. Like I'd be lying if I claimed I watch every White Sox game these past few years as a White Sox fan. Like when they were 41, 121. Yeah, I wasn't watching all his games. Like, I like that in other sports, but not the Blackhawks. Not the Blackhawks. I haven't missed a game. I have not missed a Blackhawks game. I couldn't even tell you the last time I missed a Blackhawks game. I'm thankful that, of everything I do, too. It always lines up to where I don't have to miss games. Because some people, they might be working during games or whatever. I gotta say, I may have missed a few games in that regard where maybe something came up or had a family thing. But, like, I could probably count on two hands the amount of Blackhawks games I missed the past, like, I don't know, 5 years. Maybe one hand, honestly. But yeah, because I'm obsessed with this. Like, I'm obsessed with this team. I'm obsessed with this game. So that's why. Anyway, back at it. Second period underway. Oh, forgot the clock. Second period underway. Canes up 3-1. 19 minutes into the second. Well, 1 minute into the second. 19 the clock. Vegas been good in the second period. So we'll see if they can get a comeback going here. These energy drinks are good. Bubbler. You guys try Bubbler? Not sponsored. No free ads. That's good stuff. All right, Vegas dumps the puck in. Oh, nice little drop pass there by Busty. That was a nice play. A little slick play by the goaltender with the stick. Knight scares me when he handles the puck, man. Because, like, he is a good puck handler, but he scares me. Like, I've always feared he's going to turn the puck over one of these days and just give the other team a free goal. Oh, good chance there by Jackson Blake. Wasn't able to bury it, though. Very nice play, though. Taylor Hall behind the back pass, turns it over. Vegas looking to get the puck out. They dump the puck out. Yeah, Blake's been good. A goal and assist so far. Been a big piece of that second line, right? Every player on second line has been dynamic. between Hall, Stanko, and Blake. It's been a good trio there. It's been a good piece for them, Blake. Hawks will be back. Yeah, Hawks will be back. Yeah. We're still a ways away, but I've said it before. Like I've said on the stream, I don't think the Hawks are as far away as people think. I really don't think they are. Like I always wonder too, like not to play the hypothetical game, but like how much differently does this past season play out if Bedard never separates his shoulder? Like I'd love to see how the rest of that season would have played out. Nazer doesn't break his jaw. I know there's a lot of ifs there, but like this past year, man, it looked like we were getting that the first half of the year, man. Like let's not forget how good they were in October, November. Like they were above 500. They were in the playoff wild card spot. Knight was standing on his head. Bedard was, top of the league in production with Celebrini. Like start of the year was absolute cinema, dude. Having a good time too. Right as I started this channel up and the Hawks are cooking, like during the playoffs, like, oh, this couldn't go any better. And then yeah, it turned out it was a bit of a bit of a false alarm there. Or not false alarm, but like once Bedard and Nazar got injured, just the season wasn't the same after that. But still, like they showed potential last year. Like, potential was there. Like last year showed the most potential of any Blackhawks season in recent memory. Like that was the first year that we really had hope. Like 24-25 was a disaster. 23-24 was a disaster. 22-23 was the Bedard tank year. So like that's kind of a wash. But yeah, like that was the last season that like this most recent season was the first year in a while that like yeah, like it showed the hope that's on the horizon. It showed that no, like, it's possible here. Like we have something here. We're gonna have something here. Maybe it's not here yet, but like it's gonna be here. Like the signs were there. We had those kind of glimmers, those kind of flashes, where it's like once we put everything together here. And here's the thing too, like that first part of the year, Frundell wasn't even here yet. He was in Sweden. Frundell was overseas. Lourdes was in Rockford in October, November. Kantsarov in Russia, we haven't even seen him yet. So there's so many guys we haven't even seen yet too. That's the thing. But the thing too now is like most of them are here. It's not like we're waiting on these guys anymore. Most of them are here. So that's what makes next year so exciting. There's just so many guys you can look at where it's like, man, like what kind of factor can he have? Like when's the last year where it's like you had so many players you look forward to watching in the Blackhawks? I think you can have like you could go through like make a list of 5 players. I think everyone's list would be different outside of like the obvious like Bedard, Nazar picks, but yeah, like freaking Frundell, Kantsarov, Lourdes, Green, Moore. There's so many guys in next year's team. It's like I can't wait to see what they do next year. Like how many years can you really say that? Like we had that many guys to look forward to watching. See how these guys develop. See how much better they get. See what kind of progress they make in their development. So that's what makes next year so exciting for me. It's truly the year that like the kids will start to have the reins. Like the old leadership group is out. The new leadership group will be in. The kids will be running this team. Bedard's gonna be the captain. The alternates, we'll see. Could be Burt, could be Vlasic, could be Nazar. But yeah, like this is gonna be their team now. If it wasn't already, like this, it's gonna be Bedard's team. We're kind of seeing that transition take place now. So I think next year, like you're gonna see a serious push, some serious progress. I think people probably aren't expecting, but no, I think I'm bullish. I'm bullish. Cautiously optimistic. Cautiously. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a long way to go. Like I'm talking about next season. Like we have a few months here, and we're not even done with this year. We still got the cup here, and we got a long off season ahead of us between the draft and FA and long summer ahead of us here. So it's gonna be, we got to wait a bit, but I'm already excited, man. I'm already excited for next year. Like I wish we were playing Shell franchise mode and we could just press the sim button and just skip. I wish we could just skip to next year. Like wait until July 1st, right? Like let's get to July 1st. Let's get the free agency. Let's get Bedard extended. Let's get the draft underway. But once we've done those 3 things, like I'm perfectly content to sim from July to training camp. Like I wish we could just skip that July, August, dog days. That's the worst, man. The worst part of the year is late July, August sucks. Vegas scores. Goal for Vegas, damn it. I think I forgot the clock again. 3-2. Vegas has gone the board. Who got it? William Karlsson. And I need to add 2 minutes to the clock. I keep forgetting the clock. William Karlsson gets in the board for Vegas. We got a 3-2 hockey game. Vegas looking to get a comeback brewing here. Was this Mitch Marner again? Another point for Mitch Marner. Look at that breakout. Look at that puck control. So Marner finds Anderson, finds Karlsson. But Mitch Marner, the way he was able to drive into the zone there. Beautiful puck control, beautiful vision. Rasmus Anderson, defenseman, he's behind the net, sets up Karlsson for the slot chance. Beautiful. Beautiful. 3-2. How much is that? 29 now for Marner? Is that 29 points for Marner? Let me check. I'm not sure if he got a point in the first goal or not. I believe that's 29 points in 20 games for Marner so far, I think. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, because he has 10 goals, 19 assists. 10 goals, 19 assists for Mitch Marner. How about that? That's insane. But he was the problem in Toronto, wasn't he? He was the problem over there. Funny stuff. Got Bubbler. Oh, you got Bubbler too? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, no free ads. Sponsor me. Ugh. All right, let me catch up with the chat here. I've really been paying attention. Cardiac Vegas, unfortunately, has come to the second period, apparently. I don't know why, but it's annoying. Yeah, they've been good in the semi. They've shown already. They got on the board here. They're like the opposite of the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks' second period is their worst enemy, but Vegas loves the second period. We're actually pretty elite. Frondesi is going to be elite as fuck next year, mark my words. Frondell for me is like, I don't know if it's a Blackhawk I'm more excited to watch next year than Frondell. And that includes Bedard. Like, Frondell was so good this, and yeah, it was only 12 games. But like, he looked so good, man. I thought he was the Blackhawks' best player. That includes Bedard. I don't think he's going to be better than Bedard next year by any means. But like, Frondell, I think is, outside of cancer, I do think he's going to be the team's biggest X factor next year. If we Hawks have two guys in Frondell and Kantsev in the Calder conversation, they're both immediate top 6 threats. Like, that's gonna put this team in the conversation. Absolutely. It's not a guarantee that happens, right? It's not a guarantee that happens, but if those two do come in and have that type of impact right away, like that's gonna get a lot more wins out of this team. Frondell too, what makes him so good is like not just his offensive ability, but like his play away from the puck is just as good. Like, there aren't a lot of flaws in Frondell's game. I do think there's one thing he could get quicker. I think he could work on his speed a bit. That's maybe one thing I could look at where it's like that's something he could get better at. But there's not a lot of things at Frondell where it's like, oh, like that's a weak point. There's not a lot. Like, I see him as such a Hossa guy. I know he's a center, but like, I really see him as like that Hossa mold for me. Like, that's going to be the comp for me. Hossa's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's going to be Mary Hossa, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of type of player that I see in him. In terms of like, if we're looking at 2010s Blackhawks comps, if Davidson is trying to recreate that, I think that's probably what he had in mind. Yeah, I don't know. But I love Frondell a lot, man. I think he's going to be such a guy for us. It's funny too. Like, I'll admit, like when we initially drafted him, like I was upset that Misa didn't fall to us, but like now I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty happy about it now. It shows we're not always right about the stuff, right? Because you don't know exactly what these players are going to be. Like obviously we have the players we want in this draft, right? Like we want Stenberg, but like we don't know what these guys are going to be, until they arrive to the NHL. Like you really don't know. It's all kind of a guessing game. Like there have been plenty of guys that have been so excited for they show up and it's just not there. I look at a guy like Adam Boquist. I look at Lucas Reichel. Right now, Korchinski, unfortunately, he could still figure it out, but, have my doubts there. And there have been guys where, Kirby Doc's another one. And there have been guys who are like, maybe pick didn't throw me, but it's like they show up and it's like, yeah, the player turned out pretty damn good. Like I know the Renzel pick question a lot, a lot of people question that one, but like I think he's got a lot of potential, He was a high school where he drafted him, but like, I think he's got a lot of potential. So like, yeah, like sometimes draft picks, they don't always go the way you expect, So a lot of it's just guessing game. Yeah, 9 points in 12 games. Yeah, he was good. There was that one game where he got blown out, but he had 2 goals, and I was happy about it because like I know we got blown out, but like Frondell had 2, and he looked great. That's my main takeaway from that game. I know we lost like 7-3 or something, but Frundell looked good. Who cares? um, let's see. Berkey's a great example. Yeah, Berkey was such a weird year, man. Such a weird year. Like well, to be fair, I think half the reason Burakovsky was so good at the start of the year is because he played with Bedard. Like Bedard was like him the first 3 months of the year. So like that like absolutely inflated Burakovsky stats because he's just getting apples from Bedard. Um, but yeah, like second half, man, it's like he just completely forgot how to play hockey. I've never seen a player like first half of the year to second half just look like a completely different guy. Like it's just a Jekyll and Hyde situation. I've never seen anything like it. To be fair, Bedard, like when he came back from injury, wasn't quite that same level. So I think, wasn't producing quite the same rate. So like Burakovsky's points dried up. He should have been on the first line all year. It's a shame it took until Frundella show up for him to be promoted. It is unfortunate he's got a year left in that contract, man. Like I hope we still find a way to get rid of him. No offense, but like, I know the guys like him. I know he's a good locker room guy. Yada yada. Maybe he could bounce back. I don't know, but after the way he looked the second half of the year, it's like he's just eating up a roster spot guy. Like he's just taking up a spot. Like I know you take the cap penalty, but it's like, okay, like we have so much salary cap space. Like I'll take the $3 million cap hit, like whatever, $40 million. Like that's not that deep to me. I don't think he can, I don't think Burakovsky can be on his team next year. So I hope Davidson finds a way, trade for future considerations, retain cap. He's going to have to get creative with it, but I think he's got to find a way to offload him. But we'll see what happens there. What role do you see Nestrasil playing in the future? Nestrasil. Yeah, he's an interesting one. He's definitely, we were talking about X Factors earlier. That's an X Factor right there. Like, I did not expect him to have the year he just had. I mean, the NCAA, like, he was nearly a point per game, and he looked so good in the World Juniors. Like, World Juniors with Czechnia, like, my God, was he good. He may have been the most impressive. I mean, and as good as Frundell was, like that's just still, man. Like he was a big reason why they were able to upset Canada. Like, he was so good for them. Good in that kind of power play, bumper roll too. And he's a beast. He's a 6'5", 220, 230. Like he's absolute beast. I know there's been a lot of concerns about the size of the Blackhawks. Like we have so many undersized sub 6 feet forwards, but like that's your soul. It's like if he pans out, he's kind of in your middle six there. Like that's a big, He's the type of guy we don't really have right now. Like he could be sort of that power forward that we're kind of missing right now. So yeah, like I think of Nestrasil, like at the very least, I think he's a middle six guy. I do think he potentially has top six upside. I could see him being more likely. I think he's probably middle six, third line ish. Could he be a top six? Could he be a guy in the top line with Bedsy? Maybe. It's hard to say right now. I think I need to see another year out of him. He had a very good year in college this past year, but like I also remember Boisvert having a really good freshman year and then a sophomore year he dipped. So like I need to see him do it again. I think he's going back to college next year, if not mistaken. I think he needs to do it again. He needs to take further strides. If he has another big year, like and he could join the Hawks late next year, like yeah, I'm pretty excited for a guy like that. I think right now he's probably top 3 in terms of Hawks prospects. He's up there. He's definitely a guy too. Like when we drafted him, I didn't really know a ton about him. To be honest with you, I didn't know a ton about him. But yeah, I mean, this past year, I see the vision. I see the vision absolutely. We need another elite winger. Yeah, I mean, especially with the fact they're spreading out Bedard, Frundell, and Nazar. Kanstrov coming in helps, but like, I still think there's a hole there in the top 6. Because you got to think Lardis probably going to be up there. Bertuzzi's going to be up there. But like, who's the other one, right? You got Kanstrov, Bertuzzi, Lardis. Who's the other top 6 spot? It sure would be nice if it was Stenberg, right? Sure would be nice. But that's, it still seems like that could be a fever dream, right? That could be a bit of a delusion. So if he is there, great. But like, if it's not him, like the Hawks absolutely need to go out and get that guy, right? They need to make a trade. Maybe sign Alex Tuch at free agency if he's there. Could be an option there. But yeah, I think for Davidson, top 6 winger is an absolute must this summer. Especially if we're not getting Stenberg, I think you absolutely got to do it. Because yeah, you have guys who could play up there, but like, there's not a lot of certainties. And I think you got to give Bedard, Frundell those pieces. I can't have another year of Burakovsky up there, So yeah, I hope Davidson does that. I think he will. I think Davidson knows he has to. The fact that he is spreading out all these guys, all these centers, like he's going to add in the wing this summer. He has to. He has to. All right, back to the game. I only talked much about the game. 3-2, but like Hurricanes have outshot Vegas 19-7. So like they've kind of controlled this one. Although Vegas is very much still in it. I mean, only down one. About halfway through this game. We've just passed the 10-minute mark of the second. About halfway through this game. But another good one so far. Oh, they nearly found Taylor Hall in a break. Not quite. No, it's been another good game so far. All these games have been so good, man. They've all been within one. They've all been very close, very back and forth. Been a lot of good hockey so far. I think, we're talking about off-season needs, not just the top six winger. I do think this team needs a veteran defenseman back there, top four veteran defenseman. Because we have such a young decor, man. Like, if you're running, Vlasic, Rinzel, or Vlasic, Crevier, Kaiser, Levshinov, and then Korchinski, Rinzel. Like, that's a very young decor. Domastro, too. All seven of those guys are like under 24. So it's like, I do think you need, a top four minute muncher back there, a veteran guy on that back end. I know Davidson, I believe I saw a Ben Pope article where you referenced that Davidson is targeting like a top four left side veteran defense because like you think about the right side, you already have Renzel, you already have Artie. Creve's been a beast, so it's like you're not going to add a right shot defenseman. The left side, you have Vlasic and Kaiser, but Korchinski still hasn't really taken that. He still hasn't really proven himself as a full-time NHLer yet. There's a question if he even will be that. So I think in terms of the left side, you absolutely have to make an addition there. So we'll see if he does that. You need some experience back there. You can't just run a green-blue line because that was the biggest issue to end the year. Like the Hawks were scoring goals, but like that defense the last few weeks of the year was hard to watch. Like they were getting cooked out there. So they absolutely need somebody back there who's reliable. A better version, like not just a third pair guy. They've had a lot of, third pair guys the past few years with Martinez and Brody and Grizz. Like you need a top pair, second pair guy who kind of takes the pressure off these kids. Marner, 29 points, franchise record for Knights in the playoffs. Most by player in his first year of new team. How's Toronto liking that? Take that, Toronto. You absolutely love to see it. You absolutely love to see it, folks. I hate to see Vegas, potentially, winning this cup, but man, Mitch Marner, Conn Smythe would absolutely feed families. I'm not gonna lie, but they're down this game. They are down this game. Carolina looking to even the series, up 3-2. 20-7 shots. I thought it feels more even than that, but I guess not. Vegas just needs one though, man. Are we gonna get another overtime game? The last two have gone to overtime. 2 out of 3 in the series have gone to overtime. We're gonna get another one? 3 straight? I'd be down for it. I'd be down for some more hockey. But we got a long way to go. Still got a lot of second period hockey left in the third, so a long way to go. Oh, big collision there. Stoppage. Oh, man, that was a big collision. What a hit there. Who was that? Nick Dowd and Stankoven. Yeah, Stankoven got kind of cooked there. Tried to do the reverse hit. That was not going to work. That was not going to work. Oh, the Canes bench didn't like that. They think that was a cross check. Yeah, I think they're not happy about that. Yeah, that was a cross check. Yeah, he's in the box there. Yeah, he's in the box. I don't have commentary, so I'm kind of guessing with these calls. But yeah, that looked like a cross check to me. Canes should get a power play here. They do. Power play coming for Canes. They're good in this game. They've gotten one, and one of the goals they scored was right after the power play expired. So they effectively have 2 in this game. It says 1 for 2, but like that second goal they scored literally came right after the power play. So their power play is effectively perfect in this game. Vegas wins the draw though, and they're going to clear it. All right, Carolina breaking the puck out. Looking to get another power play goal in this game. Get that 2-goal lead back. Seth Jarvis breaking the puck in. Finds Sebastian Aho. Fetching the point. Down low, the Ehlers. Ehlers been a great ad there. Ehlers. To Jarvis. More Jarvis. To Ghost. Aho. Goes down low, the Svetch. He mishandles the puck. Aho recovers. Ghost. Shot from the point. Big stop by Hart. Just got that one with the shoulder. All right. Ghost reassessing. Jarvis is going to dump this back in. He finds, he turns the puck over. Bad zone entry. That was a Blackhawks zone entry there. That was a Blackhawks, not power play. All right. Ghost coming up the ice. Finds Jackson Blake. Back to Ghost. Directs the puck in. Vegas clears. Nikishin. What is he doing? Bro, what he does? That was an Artie Levshinov play there. I don't know what Nikishin was doing there. He circles back and nearly turns the puck over in front of his net. I don't know what he was doing there. Anyway, Jackson Blake coming in. Speed. Stankoven. Back to the point. Drop pass. Back to Stank. Down low to Blake. Stankoven, of course, drew the penalty in the first place. Blake back to Stankoven. Finds Taylor Hall behind the net. Taylor Hall to the point. Ehlers. Back to Hall. What's Hall going to do? Hall turns the puck over. Vegas going to get a 2-on-2 here? Oh, out of the box. He's going to get a 2-on-1 here. Oh, nice defensive play there by Ehlers to break that up. Could have been a break there for Vegas. Good defensive play by Ehlers. Another guy I thought that couldn't perform in the playoffs, but I think he's been pretty good for Carolina, yeah. Been a good ad for them. Here we go, Jack Eichel, 1-on-1. And Bussy makes a stop there. Good chance for Eichel there, 1-on-1, ISO. That's the first shot Vegas had in a while, feels like. Been kind of they had a good start to the period, but it's been all Carolina since then. There's a spear. I've been to Vegas. That's an interesting place. Anyone in chat been to Vegas? It's quite a city. I had a good time there a couple of years ago. I was there in 2024, around the NHL trade deadline. I was there, yeah. During my spring break from college, I was in Vegas. Yeah, fun times. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Nothing really interesting happened. I did go to a Golden Knights game. They played Vancouver that weekend. So yeah, Quinn Hughes was still in Vancouver at the time. I remember Quinn Hughes had a really good game. I don't remember if Vancouver won that game or not, because that was back when they were really good. Like 2 years ago, Vancouver was great because they had Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson was still he was still over a point per game player. He was still very good. Past couple of years, not so much. They had JT Miller. They had Demko. Bester had a good year. That Vancouver team is really good. I don't know what happened there. It just collapsed. And this past year, they're the worst team in the league, and they're rebuilding. And now Quinn Hughes is gone, and Miller's gone, and Pettersson forgot to play hockey. Demko's always injured. I don't know what's going on. Vancouver has just completely fallen off the face of the earth the past few years. But yeah, that Vegas trip is a good time. Nice arena there in Vegas. Good arena. Good atmosphere there. It is interesting there though. It is very much like it's got that Vegas entertainment flair. It almost feels like you're not at a hockey game. There's just so much weird shit going on there. But no, it's a good time. Very nice area outside the rink as well. Like we ate a restaurant outside the rink, and the Vegas they have like a little march as they go into the arena in the pregame. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a good time. I believe we stayed at the Bellagio. I think we stayed in the Bellagio. Yeah. I wish we were there F1 weekend. I'd like to see the F1 race there. That'd be a good time. I remember we went to the track though, because like F1, they own a part of Vegas where like the paddock is and like the front stretch. Like F1 actually owns that area. Obviously, they have to construct the rest of the track during the weekend, but For those of you who don't know, I'm also a really big F1 fan. That's why I'm talking about it. It's probably my second biggest interest after Chal Blackhawks. Going through it this year, though. Well, yeah, I'm wearing my Red Bull shirt, but yeah, it's been a tough year for Red Bull, to say the least. They have not gotten these regulations right at all. The Ford powertrains, actually, the engine's actually okay. It's just the car is shit. They lost Newey, and the chassis is not good. The durability's been terrible too. They've had 2 cars just blow up. It seems like they have a hard time finishing races. The starts haven't been good. The pace isn't there. They just haven't given Verstappen a winning car this year. So, yeah, I don't know if his contract's there until 2028, but I mean the way George Russell is struggling with Mercedes, I don't know. I mean maybe Toto Wolff. I think he's always wanted Verstappen there, so maybe we see a Verstappen Kimi Antonelli team next year. I'd love to see Verstappen and Mercedes. As much as I like Red Bull, they've kind of missed it, these regulations, and I want to see Verstappen have a championship car again. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, that's enough F1 talk, because I don't know how many people in here actually care about F1, but yeah. Oh, Vegas has a power play all of a sudden. Yeah. Vancouver won. Oh, somebody checked for me. Thank you. Do you think Mikheyev will come back? Right now, unfortunately, it's not looking like it. I mean, they could still work something out with him, but the reports that we've gotten have suggested that, Mikheyev and the Blackhawks have not been able to come to terms as of yet. I mean, they still have a few weeks to do so, but right now it looks like he's going to hit the open market. And the Blackhawks have made his negotiating rights available for trade. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Mikheyev, right now, if I had to guess, I would say no. I mean, maybe they can still work something out, but it appears Mikheyev wants to, whatever deal that he wanted from the Blackhawks, he's not going to get it. And he looks like he wants to test open market. And if he can't get a deal he wants in the open market, I guess he'll take the Blackhawks offer. I think the issue is Mikheyev wants a long-term deal. I think he wants a long-term deal from what I've heard from reports. And I think the Hawks, they don't want to give him a long-term deal. They want a short-term deal because, Mikheyev is going to be 32. And obviously the Hawks have a lot of young guys coming in to where, I think Mikheyev in your roster for the next year or two makes sense. But beyond that, maybe not. So, yeah, I think Mikheyev wants a long-term deal, but Hawks, aren't willing to give that to him. So I think he may see that elsewhere from another team. I don't think the money's an issue because, Hawks have so much cap space. So I'm not sure how much more money could get elsewhere. There's few teams that have as much available as the Hawks in that regard. So we'll see if he can get a better deal elsewhere or if he just takes the deal the Hawks offered him. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I've heard, 3 years, 5-ish million, something like that. That's what I've heard. But yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'd say probably not, but it could still come back. But right now, I'd say probably it just seems to be trending not that way, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate because he is such a good penalty killer. And if the Hawks, it's strange they didn't foresee this. Trade deadline. If you knew this was gonna be an issue, why didn't you just trade for the deadline and get some assets for him? If you knew that re-signing was gonna be tricky. Which I'm not really sure why it is to me. I feel like it shouldn't be. I'm surprised it's been that tricky. I didn't foresee it being an issue. But yeah, we'll see if they can still work something out. But right now, probably it doesn't look like they will. With that said, though, it's yeah, Mikheyev, he's an effective player. He's good, don't get me wrong. But the Hawks have young guys that can kind of fill into that role. Alvin Mork is a good penalty killer. Ryan Green's a good penalty killer. Frank Nazo's a good penalty killer. Slaggert's a good penalty killer. They have guys that could kind of, fill in. And we have so many pieces. Mikheyev, he has a spot now, but this roster's only gonna get more crowded, And if you bind yourself to him in the long term, look at Donato. We signed that 4-year deal, and because he had such a great year a couple years ago, and this past year his role was reduced, and he didn't have the same year. So it's Mikheyev, you could extend this guy for a long time, and what if he regresses? And then he's just taking up a spot from a young player. But still, you wouldn't want to lose him for nothing, though. That's not ideal. So hopefully it doesn't happen. If he does go elsewhere, hopefully they get something for him before July 1st. Oh, 2-1 for Vegas, potentially. Oh, and they score. What a shot. I forgot the clock again. Damn. Vegas, we have a tie hockey game here. Oh, wow, I'm way off the clock. Jeez. 3-3 hockey game. Brett Howden again? This guy's been on one, dude. What is that, 14 goals for him? Brett Howden with an absolute snipe on the 2-on-1. So Carolina missed an opportunity there. They turned the puck over. Bad. Who was that? Turned the puck over. That was bad. And they get 2-on-1. And Brett Howden just takes it in for the absolute snipe. What a toe drag release there. That was a Pookie special there. That was a Betsy type shot. Look at this. No toe drag release. Top cheese. Top cheddar. Bar down. What a goal for Howden. He's been so good, man. Where did this come from? From Brett Howden. Like, where did this come from? He's been him. Also, 3-3 game, but Canes have outshot, Vegas 21-11. That's tough. So not really getting the goaltending. And that's such a nice shot, though. Like, I'm not really sure what you can do about that. Like, that was such a nice shot. So I'm not necessarily blaming Bussy there. I don't think many goalies could have stopped that. And the Vegas crowd outside goes mild. What a goal. We have a tie hockey game. That's the thing, man. Like, these teams, they score goals in bunches, man. They score goals in bunches. And it feels like you're never really out of this series, 2-3 goal lead doesn't matter. 4-goal lead doesn't matter. Vegas has outscored Carolina 9-1 in the second period in the series. That's rough. That's a Blackhawks ass stat. Second period Blackhawks are taking over here for Carolina. Vegas come back again. It's going to be another 2-on-1 here? No, not quite. Still, it's close. And Vegas has all momentum right now. They've tied the game up. They've had multiple 2-goal comebacks here. Carolina dumps it. That's tough for Carolina, man. It's like for the first half of the game, it was all them, but second half of this period there, Vegas has definitely controlled the place. They've just been more opportunistic, it feels like, Vegas. Like, they're not getting as much chances, but it feels like they've been higher quality. Like, they've definitely been... They take advantage of the chance they've got. Oh, big chance there for Carolina. Big stop by Hart. Probably gotten slightly better goaltending, too, it feels like. Carolina's not had the goaltending in this series. It's like they're not shooting them every game. They're just not getting the looks. They're not getting them to go in like Vegas is. Because Vegas has those finishers, right? They have those finishers. Torts isn't happy about something. About a minute 30 left in the second. Man, Carolina's double the amount of shots. Tie game. That's tough, man. It's like me and Shell when I play franchise mode. Shell, I always outshoot the other team, but still find a way to lose. Oh, yeah. Hart got barreled into there. Yeah, Blake just crashed into Hart there. He probably wanted goal interference. Was he pushed into him, though? Looked like he was pushed into him. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what Torts was barking at there. Will there be something here? Oh, looking at this. I mean, look, to me, it looked like he was pushed into Hart. Maybe not. Oh, 4v4. So I guess there's one for goal interference, and then, well, McNabb also had the cross-check after the fact. He cross-checked Blake after he was on the ice. He didn't like that he crashed into Hart, and then he just cross-checked him while he's down. That was kind of a cheap play, so I guess it cancels out. 4-4. Oh, Torts is pissed. He's not happy. And it looked like a cheap play to me. I don't know. It looks fair to me. Oh. Anyway, 4-4. Carolina's got the ozone draw. Big draw here. See if Carolina can get something going here late in the 4v4. Not sure who this favors. Not sure has a better kind of 4v4 squad here. Vegas wins, or Carolina wins the draw with their breaking it out. Oh, chance there. Vegas had a good chance. Carlson just narrowly missed the net. Vegas possessing. Looking to get something here late. Get the first lead in the game for them. All right. Coming back in here. Stone takes the puck in. Finds Rasmus Anderson. Anderson, shot. Pretty easy save there for Bussy. Not much on that. Sharp angle shot. About 45 seconds left in the frame. Anderson with the Patrick Kane angle there. Looking to catch Bussy sleeping. But yeah, not much mustard on that. Well, the camera's holding out now. It seems like I fixed the problem, whatever it was. Still don't know what it was, but whatever I've done has fixed it because we've gone a whole period without any issues in the camera. So that's good. Making progress, chat. We've had a hat trick of camera difficulties today, but looks like we won't have anything beyond that. So that's good. All right, Marner O-zone draw. Carolina wins it. Big D-zone draw for them. Big win. All right. Carolina breaking the puck out. All right, Jackson Blake brings it back. I'm sorry, that was Sean Walker. Jordan Stahl finds Ehlers. Here comes Ehlers. Nice frat pass there. Shot misses Hart. I'll probably do it. Carolina's time to maybe get one more chance here if they want. Looks like they're just going to kill the period. Oh, no, one more look. Slapper there. Hart makes the easy stop, and that should do it for the period. Yeah, that'll do. 30 seconds left in the 4v4. But otherwise, period ends 3-3. Twee heading in the twee, as Pat Foley would say. Vegas has tied up the game as we head into the third period. Intermission first. Man, every single game has been this close, man. Are we gonna get another overtime? We have another period left. We got a long way to go, but I think we may be in for more extra innings tonight. The way this game is trending, I think we may have more extra innings tonight. Oh, what? Speaking of extra innings, what happened with the White Sox? I'm gonna check on the White Sox. How are they doing? They were down last time I checked. How are my Sox doing? 4-3. Braves up 4-3, bottom of seventh. Well, they need to lock in then. Who's pitching today? I don't know. They called up Montgomery, the other Montgomery. Hopefully they come away with it. Yeah. I know Trevor's there. Good period, though. Been a good game. All 4 games have been great. Like, there has not been one miss so far. All hits, no misses so far in terms of this Cup final. To quote Drake. Oh, let's talk about some NHL stuff. Yeah. Chat, what do we think of the Edmonton Oilers? It's not official, but Mike Babcock, what do we think about that? We haven't talked about this, right? I don't think we've talked about this. Yeah. Mike Babcock apparently is going to be the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers pending league approval. That is just shocking. Dude has been out of the league for like 7 years. Absolute fossil. And it's Mike Babcock. I know he's won a cup. I know he won a cup in 08. He's won a lot. But like, dude, how much baggage does this guy have? I mean, he was supposed to be the coach of the Blue Jackets in 23. Got fired because he invaded his players' privacy by looking through their phones. He literally brought the players into his room to look through their phones to find out what kind of people they were. Absolute invasion of privacy. Gets fired before the season even starts. How many coaches got fired on their day off in history before the season even began? Then Toronto, when he was with Toronto. So he calls Mitch Marner into the room and he has him rank all his teammates by how hard they work. He has Mitch Marner like literally create a list of like from most to least, hardest workers on a team. Then he takes the list that Mitch Marner made and he shares it with the rest of the team in the locker room. These are all real. Look them up for yourself if you don't believe me. Like, how insulting is that? How embarrassing is that for Mitch Marner? Like, imagine being in that situation where, like, the coach has you do that, rank your players by how hard they work, and then he shares that list with you in the room with the rest of the team. Like, imagine what kind of toxic culture that creates. And you got to think with Marner, because he did say, like, if Vegas wins, he's going to share some of the dark stories he had in Vegas. Or, sorry, with Toronto, I should say. you gotta think that like those type of instances definitely didn't help his cause in Toronto. Like, cause that stuff doesn't leave you, man. That stuff doesn't leave you. Not just that, man. Like I think about back in '09 when he was coach of the Wings. Chris Chelios, Blackhawks legend, right? That's his foul season in the NHL. Um, and he's playing in the Winter Classic, right? At Chicago in his last season. He's scratched. He doesn't play in the game. Or sorry, I think he was dressed, but they never played him. I think Chelios spoke about this. Like he played like a couple shifts the entire game. So he's basically a scratch in the Winter Classic, his last season, playing at Wrigley Field in his hometown Chicago for Detroit. Doesn't play in the game. Mike Modano, I believe he played for the Red Wings his last season, 10-11. I mean, obviously, before Patrick Kane, he was the all-time American point scorer, right? And he played about half the games because Babcock kept scratching him. He goes to Detroit, his hometown team, in his final season, and he hardly plays because Babcock keeps scratching him. Then think about Johan Franzen in Detroit. That's another example. I think Franzen, he used to bring him into the room and just insult the guy. Like, he hurt his mental health. Like, the guy just, yeah, he wins, but, like, just doesn't seem like a great guy. I know Mike Commodore, he played in the NHL, a defenseman, and he's had a lot of bad things to say about him. Just doesn't seem like a very likable guy whatsoever. And you got to wonder what kind of impact this has on McDavid. Apparently, I saw something. Apparently, like the Oilers management, Stan Bowman, apparently he got, approval from the Oilers leadership core with this decision. I have a hard time believing that. And frankly, if he did get approval, I wonder if that's Connor McDavid thinking, well, you know what? I'm not going to be here anyway, so I don't really care who you hire. Maybe I'm maybe I'm just spitballing there, but I McDavid can't love this, man. Like this screams desperation by Edmonton. It's a desperate hire. It's a desperate hire. Like it's what it is by Stan Bowman. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there, man. And yeah, I mean, McDavid's got 2 years left in his deal. I mean, I don't know. Like it seemed unthinkable to think he could leave, but I mean, if the Oilers come up short yet again next year, and they lost in the first round this year, after back-to-back finals appearances where they lost, if they have another early exit next year, like going into the final year of his contract, I don't know. Bob Stauffer said that he's committed to Edmonton, but until I see that, next contract extension, why did he sign a 2-year deal? If he's so committed to Edmonton, why would you sign a 2-year deal? Like that at 28 years old, like why would you do that? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. To me, that was him kind of giving Edmonton a timeline. Like, okay, like you have the next 2 years to figure this out, to give me that roster to work with here. I mean, he's already been there for over a decade too. It's not like, it's been 11 years. No cups. So he's won everything there is except for the Stanley Cup. So you just wonder, like, is he going to stick it out? Is he going to be loyal to Edmonton for the rest of his career? Does it get to a point where it's like, I've given you everything I can. I've been the best player in hockey for 10 years, and you haven't given me that support. I've got Draisaitl, but it's like, you got Nugent Hopkins, you got Zach Hyman, but like, historically, like the Oilers haven't had a ton of, running guns around them. And you just wonder, and the defense too has been a problem. The goaltending, he hasn't had an elite goaltender the whole time he's been there. The goaltending sucked. You just wonder about that, man. Like, at what point is enough enough? I know he's the captain. I know he's your franchise identity. I know he said he loves it there, but does it reach a point, though? Does it reach a point? I don't know. Be interesting to see. Matthews, too. I mean, Matthews has a 2-year deal as well. 2 years left with Toronto. Who's more likely to leave, Matthews or McDavid? Because Toronto's an interesting situation right now because, they just missed the playoffs, but they lost Mitch Marner. They traded him. But now suddenly get the first pick, and suddenly they're going to have Gavin McKenna. They've already said, basically, they already told McKenna, like, yeah, you're the pick. Like, we knew he was the pick when he got the first overall pick. But yeah, they're going to have Gavin McKenna. Like, how fast does that turn things around there, Is that enough for Matthews to want to stay? Is McKenna kind of the Marner replacement for him? And he's like, you know what, I'll stick around here. Despite all the years of, first round exits and such, and like a lot of the same, media critiques that Marner had, Matthews has had. So I don't know how much longer he's gonna want to stick around there. Plus, he's another American too. Like I mean, a lot of Americans have left their Canadian teams and won. I mean, look at Matthew Tkachuk. He was with the Flames and gets traded. He was a part of the Jonathan Huberdeau trade, and he wins a cup. 2 cups at Florida, and I could just see a guy like Matthews. He just won the gold medal with Team USA, being like, you know what, like I've had enough here. Like, yeah, I don't know. McDavid definitely leaves. It definitely feels like it's trending that way, man. Babcock Bowman, what a combo. How about that? Yeah, Stan Bowman. Like, if you're Stan Bowman, you're like, yeah, you know what? That's the solution. Mike Babcock is the solution. It's a shame, too, that's like we still have the same problem in NHL, but the same club. It's that same old boys club. Like, even like the LA Kings hiring Peter Laviolette. Like, you just see a lot of the same recycled coaches over and over and over again. Like, there's so much young, talented blood out there. And it's like we're still going for the same fossils all every year. It's like you can't do better than that. And like there's not good coaches in the market that are available right now. Like there's Gerard Gallant. I know Bruce Cassidy. They tried to get Bruce Cassidy, but Vegas has denied them. They've denied them permission to interview him, which is interesting. Obviously, Bruce Cassidy was the coach of the Golden Knights team. Until March this past year. Vegas was struggling. They were, almost out of playoff spot because they were playing so badly at the end of the year, and they fired him and brought in Torts, and well, the rest is history here. But Cassie's a great coach. So, he was a good target for Edmonton, but Vegas kind of cock-blocked him there. So yeah, Cassidy kind of fell off the table. David Carl, like he came up again, like he came for the Hawks last year. Hawks wanted to get David Carl, but he's decided to stick around Denver. He's been in talks. Like I know the Leafs wanted to get Carl, but it looks like he's still going to stick with Denver, which interesting there for David Carl. It's like, man, like you've already won everything there is to win in college, and you've won World Junior Gold USA, like, and you're still doing the college hockey thing. Like, I mean, you could be coaching the NHL. I don't know. I guess in the college hockey you have the security, and like he lives there, and I know he likes it there in Denver. I understand why you want to stick around in college, but it's like I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if you had that opportunity to coach your original six franchise, that's twice now. He turned down the Hawks last year, and he's turned down the Leafs this year. It's like, damn, that's something. Um, I guess just it's a security, man, because like NHL coaches these days have such a short leash. And how many coaches within a year or two already get fired? Like between how many coaches today have actually been with their team for a long time? And you think John Cooper in Tampa, you think Jared Bednar in Colorado. Those are the only two I can think of. Like I feel like every other coach is like every other team. I feel like has gone through at least one coach, this past few years, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think about who the longest tenured coach is after Cooper and Bednar. I can't think of who the third one is. I mean, how many teams have gone through coaching turnovers the past couple of years? Like there's no leash these days of coaches whatsoever. Like they're gone in an instant. One bad year, you're gone. Like, there's no patience of coaches these days. They definitely get the short end of the stick by a lot of these general managers. And look at the Blackhawks. I mean, since Joel Quenneville was fired in 2018, I mean, how many coaches the Blackhawks gone through? I mean, they fired Quenneville. They brought in Jeremy Colleton. He was there for a few years, and then Jeremy Colleton was fired in 21. Thank God, he was absolute dog shit. or Derek King, I should say, he was the interim coach there for a bit. Then we brought in Luke Richardson. He was coach for a couple of years. Then we brought in Anders Sorensen was interim after he was fired. And now we're on the Jeff Blass show. Like, Bedard's already had 3 coaches. So hopefully Blashill's the guy. But yeah, it's funny. Like, you think if the Hawks, like, don't take that step next year, like, he's probably already on the hot seat. Like, it'll only be a second year. But it's like, that's how, like, urgent it is today in the NHL. It's like, if you're not, like, if you don't get your team in a better place within 2 years, like, you're gone these days. Like, it's not like you have 3-4 years figured out. You have, like, 2 years. If you're an NHL coach, figure it out. And if 2 years you haven't figured it out, you're gone. Like, there is no runway for coaches these days whatsoever. So I think that's probably why a guy like David Carl is like, decide, you know what? Like, I'm just going to stay where I am in Denver. Like, why? Like, there's no security in the NHL. Like, I'll just keep my cushy Denver job and just keep, winning national championships and collecting the big checks there. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I do wish we could have gotten though. I think he would have been a good coach for this team. No, Blashill is all right. I don't mind Blashill. I think there are, better options than Jeff Blashill, but there are worse options. Like I think you know, he's all right. Like there are things that Blashill like I think he's implemented. I think the Hawks, he's built better habits of this young team. I think they're better defensively. I think they're more structured. Um, and I like his philosophy too. Like he seems like a guy like he just he definitely knows what he's talking about. Seems like an intelligent guy. Definitely knows the game very well. Players seem to like him. Seems like a likable guy. Um, some questionable decisions though, for sure. Like I just can't get over the fact that he just left Andre Burakovsky and Bedard's wing for like 3/4 of the season last year when he was doing nothing. I don't love that. And there's a lot of the same problems of Richardson too, where it's like the Hawks look great for one period, then the intermission happens, and they look like a different team the next period. It's a 60-minute thing that seems like an issue. And yeah, another thing of Blashill too is like Hawks always seem to start the games on time, but then once they take a lead, they just sit back. They play conservative hockey the rest of the way. It's like you take a lead, and like you got to stay aggressive, man. You got to try to extend the lead. You got to try to push the buttons. The Hawks, I feel like every time they got a lead this season, it'd be like, oh well, we just got to play trap hockey the rest of the way, and and like I think there's a reason why they blew so many leads this past year because like they didn't play the same from one period to the next. Like they have a completely different game plan from period 1 to period 3. And I feel like in-game adjustments were an issue too. Like the Hawks would start off games really, really well, but then second period looked like a different team. How does that happen? Other teams are making adjustments, and you're not. Maybe it's a product of a young team too. I mean, the Hawks did have one of the youngest teams in the league this year, so maybe that's just the fact you have such a young team. So you go through kind of more of those emotional, resets and games, right? That could be something there where it's harder for young teams to kind of manage games from that standpoint. They don't have the experience, so like players that have been around the game for a while, they don't let a bad shift get to them. They don't let a couple goals get to them. A young team, they go through kind of peaks and valleys, right? So that just could be a factor of the team. It could be just a factor of the construction. I think with time and experience, hopefully that gets better. But no, I think with Blashill, it's too early. Like I think I got to give him another year. I think we'll know this time next year if Blashill's the guy or not. If he's just a transitional guy like Dennis Savard was, or if it can be this team's long-term guy. It's too early to say for him. I don't know why I started talking about coaches, but yes, I got started talking about coaches, so I just thought about that. Anyway, this intermission I feel like has gone on a long time. Hopefully, get back to it soon here. Going to the third period or tie game 3-3. Vegas, Carolina. Twee heading into Twee. Should be a good third period here. Will we get overtime? Will we get overtime, chap? Yeah, we'll see. It'd be the third overtime of the series, third in a row as well. We'll see if we get that. We'll see what happens there. No, been a good game so far. Definitely enjoyed this one. Hopefully it just keeps getting better. Been an entertaining series, man. A lot of people said it wouldn't be. A lot of people said this wouldn't be an entertaining series, and man, were they wrong. Man, were they wrong. It is crazy that Vegas is here, man. You gotta give Torts a lot of credit. Apparently, Torts too. Like this is it for him in Vegas. Like even if they win the cup, apparently he's like, yeah, like this is a short-term deal. Like this is just a step-in situation, interim situation. Apparently, Torts has already said like he won't be back in Vegas next year, which is pretty nuts. Imagine a coach coming in late March, early April, taking over, that late in the year, potentially winning a cup, and then bolting. I guess Vegas needed Torts. Torts didn't need Vegas, I guess. So yeah, what happens to Torts then? Like, does he win a cup and just be like, you know what? Like, I'm good. I'm done. I've gotten my second cup, first cup since 2004. Does he then call it? Does Torts coach a different team next year? Like, what happens to Torts? I don't know. I could see it like if they lose, I could see him still want to be around and get that final cup. But if he wins a cup of Vegas here, I could see him being like, you know what? Like I've won everything there is to win here. Like I've been around a while. Like I think I could go off in the sunset now. He's up there too. Torres has been around for a long time. I mean, he's one of the most winning coaches in hockey. Like, what else does he have to do? I mean, I wonder if he sticks around beyond this year. What does Vegas do? Like, imagine like your Stanley Cup winning coach then leaves you. Like, who becomes Vegas coach? Who's their next guy? I don't know. Unless Torch changes his mind, he's like, you know what? Fine, I will come back. I don't know. But right now, it seems like he won't, which is interesting. All right, back at it here. I want to get the clock underway here. Third period. As long as the long losing streak doesn't happen again, Blashill is all right for now. Yeah, I think Blashill is safe for now. I think, yeah, you can't. 1 year, it's too early. You don't know if it. You know after multiple years whether he's going to be the guy. Like 1 year is not. You can't come to like judgments really after 1 year. You have to give it a couple of years for the system to play out, players to adjust to the system, and then you kind of know if it's going to work or not. I think we'll know after next year if Blashill is going to be the guy, but it's too early to say after 1 year. Anyway, we're underway in the third period. Still got some 4-on-4 time. About 10 seconds of 44 time left. We're underway in the third period. Who we got, Chad? Who's coming away with this one? I think Carolina's got to take this, man. They have to take this. I hope they find a way. I hope they pull through. I'm not sure if they do, though. Even though, like, this is the first game I feel like Carolina's outplaying Vegas, but, like, I still have a feeling Vegas come away with it. I don't know. It just feels like they've been more, like, they've been taking advantage of their opportunities. It just feels, it just feels like destiny of them, man. I don't know. They have the star power. They have the players that are going to come through in these big moments. Not to say Carolina doesn't. Like, Carolina has a lot of talent, but they have a ton of depth. But Vegas has the stars. They have those X factors. They have those real difference makers. I just think in a close game like this, like, they have more of those players that can kind of come up in these moments. Oh, opportunity here. It looked like it would be a wraparound there. Not quite. Taylor Hall comes back the other way for Carolina. Stankoven coming in. He rings the puck around. Finds Jarvis behind the net. Borbauer down low. Vegas have 2-on-1 here. Svetch comes in for support. Hart covers. We got a whistle. If I remember to stop the clock. Oh, Barbershop nearly found the tip there. What an opportunity for Vegas. Yeah, Stone was looking for the tip. Barbershop missed it. That could have been a goal there for Vegas if he connects on that. If he connects on the puck there. All right, ozone draw for Carolina. Jordan Stahl has always been good on draws. See if he wins this one. Just drop the puck, ref. I hate it when they just wait like this. And they kick guys out. It drives me crazy. I feel like it happens all the time at Bedard where he just gets kicked out of these draws. It's annoying, man. But just drop the puck already, man. All right. Vegas wins the draw. Dump it in. Oh, opportunity here, maybe. Good defense. Oh, they going to call that? Somehow it's a penalty. I don't know about that. It's like Keandre Miller is going to call for something. Vegas should get power play here. I think. I don't have audio. So, yeah, I know he's going to the box. What is the call here? I missed it. It's been a surprising amount of calls for a Stanley Cup game. Normally, you don't see a ton of penalties in these type of games. You know, playoffs, normally they put the whistles away. I guess that's a trip. Yeah, that's a trip. Never mind. I missed that. He didn't like it, though. I think he thought he just lost an edge, but his stick was by his skates, and he looked like he tripped him. So, anyway, Vegas power play. Vegas 0 for 2 in the power play tonight. They've not been as effective as Carolina in the power play. I believe Carolina's had 2 goals in the power play. Vegas hasn't had any so far, and Carolina clears. Carolina's always had a good penalty kill. Under Rod Brindamore, it's not a surprise. Mitch Marner at the drop pass finds Eichel. I don't know what that zone entry is by Eichel. It wasn't no speed there, and Vegas recovers, though. They dump it back in. Eichel behind the net. Oh, nice pass there, but Carolina breaks it up. How would not get that puck out? Nice stick there by Stone. Really nice stick lift there. Oh. Tic-tac-toe play, but Bussy makes a big stop. Vegas got something cooking here in the power play. Marner from the point. No. Stone wasn't able to find it in that front. Dorofeyev to the point. Finds Marner. Marner down low. Eichel. Missing the net. Vegas again looks in the power play here. Good breakout. Although Eichel turns the puck over. Carolina should clear this puck pretty easily. Yes, they do. Carolina's dodged a few bullets in this one. Vegas looking to break the puck in again. See if they can generate something here. About 30 seconds left in the peeper. Carlson brings the puck around the boards. Finds Rasmus Anderson at the point. Directs it back in. Howden turns the puck over. Carolina back the other way. 2v2 here. Spashinaho. Shot, potentially. Missing the net. Looking for Jarvis there, look like. Vegas back the other way. 3-on-2 here, potentially. Barbashev. Nice move. Oh, good opportunity there for Shea Theodore. Missed the net, though. Good chance for Theodore. And he finds Rasmus Anderson. Anderson, down low, behind the back. Finds Howden. Howden down low. What's he going to do? Slot chance there for... But they miss. Vegas comes up short of the power play. Big kill for Carolina. They needed that one. Big kill for Carolina. Vegas had some chances. Dorofeyev. I think he had a rolling puck. Yeah, Dorofeyev had a rolling puck, so it wasn't. You didn't get all that shot, but looked like Carolina or Vegas potentially had a goal there. Eichel had a slapper as well, but I think he missed the net. Oh, he hit the post. A crossbar. I think Eichel hit the crossbar there, yeah. And Theodore. Nice stick there. Who was that? Nice stick by Nikishin there, looked like. Good power play by Vegas, though. It was a good power play, but they didn't score on it. Carolina just about got away with it. Good kill. Vegas is 1 for 12 in the power play. I would not have thought they'd be 1 for 12 in this series. That doesn't seem right, but I guess it is. Stats don't lie. Puck don't lie. Now, PK's been good for Carolina. Power play's been good, too. It's funny, yeah. Carolina has been better at the special teams, but Vegas has been better at even strength, it looks like. I'm surprised they've even had 12 power plays in this series. It's like 3 a game, which in this Cup Finals is kind of a lot. That's about what you expect in a regular season game, but not playoffs. Normally there's lesser in the playoffs. I guess not. No, forgot the clock again. Let's take away 3 minutes there. Yep. 15:35. Yeah. Oh. 15 minutes left in this frame, but I already get the feeling we're going to get an overtime here. I just get that feeling. It has those vibes. It has overtime vibes, chat. But we'll see. A lot of time here for somebody to come up big. We'll see what happens. All right, Carlson down low. Good puck protection there. To the point. Oh, nice takeaway there. Good stick. Who was that? Stankoven. Really nice play by Stankoven. They turn the puck over, though. Taylor Hall turned it over, but he gets it back. Nice pass. Another turnover. Good defense by Vegas. Here comes Marner the other way. What's Marner going to do here? I guess he gets train wrecked. Maple Leafs Marner made an appearance there. All right, Carolina looking to break the puck out here. All right, they deflect the puck in Vegas' zone. Hard, way out of the net to play that puck. That was a risky play. Here comes Vegas the other way. 2-on-1 here. Oh, Eichel, what a play. What a move by Eichel. That was slick. Oh, good chance there for Stone, but he missed the net. Vegas really starting to get something cooking here. They've definitely got some momentum. Stone. Eichel. Oh, man. Yeah, it feels like Vegas has most momentum right now. Carolina hasn't really got much going this period. It's been all Vegas so far. Riding the crowd right now. Or makes a stop. Come on, Carolina. Wake up here, man. I smell Vegas goal coming, unfortunately. It just feels like it. Bussey's made some big stops in this game. And he has let in 315 shots, but they've all been pretty high quality. All right, 14:06 left in the third. 3-3 game. Carolina's up 24-15 in shots. Vegas has had a lot in this third period. I don't know what's the delay is here. I guess the ice. I guess there's a delay of the ice right now. I don't know what's going on. All right, here we go. Gonna get an ozone draw here for Carolina. See if Stahl can win another faceoff up against Sissons. Wins the draw. Another faceoff win for Stahl, man. He's like their Jonathan Toews on draws. Very good on the draw. Carolina gets a shot. Deflects wide. Keep it in. Not quite. Here comes Vegas the other way. Going to tuck the puck in here. And Carolina puts it back in. Theodore on the breakout. I turn the puck over. Chatfield's going to dump this in for Carolina. Oh, bad turnover. Terrible turnover. Oh, can't. Jarvis wasn't able to bury it, though. Tried to go forehand, backhand. Gonna get another chance here. Boom! Jordan Stahl on is the ground. Gets a piece of it. Jordan Stahl on his belly. Gets a piece of the puck. Makes it 4-3 for Carolina. And Carolina's got the lead back in this hockey game. Let's go. I am not showing my bias at all. Let's go. Big goal for the Canes. They needed that because Vegas is really playing with fire there. They really needed that. Good pressure here. So, really bad turnover. I don't know who turned this over. Who was this? Just a muffin up the middle of the ice. Jarvis takes advantage. Forehand, backhand. Hart makes a big stop. But Jarvis, he sticks with it. He sticks with it. Ehlers finds Stahl falling down. Still to somehow make was able to find the puck there, though. As he's falling down. Impressive hand dive by Stahl to somehow still find that puck as he's falling over. And Carolina's got the 4-3 lead in this game. There we go. Just like that. That was a weird goal. That was a very weird goal, but we'll take it. Second goal for Stahl tonight. Looking for the hat trick. Are we going to see an empty netter Jordan Stahl hat trick? Maybe. We'll see. That's his fifth. That's his fifth of the finals? Damn. Apparently Jordan Stahl has the most goals in this cup final. We not have I don't know how many people have predicted that. I mean, he's, not to say he can't produce, but normally he's more of a defensive player, Jordan Stahl, especially at this stage of his career. But he's been very good in these finals, making his case for the Conn Smythe there. Jordan Stahl looking to do what his brother Eric did with Carolina and win a cup there. Here comes Vegas the other way. Big stop by Bussey. Vegas looking to respond here and tie this game back up. Yeah, Carolina's got their lead back, but they lost. 4-3 for Carolina. 12 minutes, 30 seconds left. A lot of hockey left. We still got over half this period left, so see if Carolina can lock this down and avoid overtime if they can. If they can win this in regulation, that'd be nice. So keep the pressure on. Got ozone possession here. Ghost maybe looking for a shot from the point. No, he sends it back in, down low. Carolina down low. Possessing the puck. Stankoven. Carolina got possession right now. Taylor Hall behind the net. Oh, nice play there. Was that Hannafin? Nice defensive play to kind of shut that down. It's been good for them, Hannafin. Very good defensive defenseman. All right. Carolina possessing the puck here. Stegel behind the net. Anderson cuts it off. Carolina's got a lot of momentum now. Seems like the game's coming their way here. Another board battle here. Sebastian Aho. Shot from the point by Walker. Oh. Nah, whiffed on the chance. I like that Carolina's keep the pressure on here, right? They got the lead, but they're still trying to find more. They're not sitting back. I like that. Trying to extend the lead. Get some insurance here. That's how you got to play at Vegas, right? You can't really have that same game plan at Vegas. You still got to keep the pressure on. You can't just take a lead and protect the lead. You got to try to extend the lead. You got to keep the pressure on versus Vegas because they're a team that's too talented. You can't shut that team down like you can an Ottawa or a Philly or even Montreal for that matter. You got to play different versus them. They made some nice adjustments in this game. Like this looks more like the Carolina Hurricanes, this game. First 3 games of the series, I thought that Vegas kind of had them rattled, but this game they look much more composed. And for the first time this series, this is the first game they look like they're in control. Like I know Vegas has had a couple comebacks, but Carolina's looked mostly in control of this game. Vegas opportunity there though. Although Vegas has so much talent, they could easily, find a goal here and tie it up. They just have those finishers. And it feels like they're a team that's just so low they could score at any moment. That's what makes them kind of scary here, especially when they've been so hot in these playoffs. But no, I've liked Carolina's game. This has definitely been by far their best game in the Cup. Because I think all 3 games up to this point, I think Vegas has been the better team, even though it's a 2-1 series. I think even the game that Vegas lost, I thought they were better. This is the first game of the series for me that I can easily say Carolina's been the better team. Like, they deserve this one. But Vegas finds a way, though. You know what? They just find a way. So this game is far from over here. They could easily still find a way to edge us out. Even though they've been kind of outplayed in this one, to be honest with you. Vegas dumps it in. All right, Carolina in the breakout. Vegas reassessing. Theodore, the breakout pass. Stone avoids a turnover. Here comes Eichel the other way. Stone down low. Barbashev. Oh, chance here. Theodore missed the net. Gotta hit the net there. Gotta, every chance you get here, you gotta find some twine. Here comes Hall the other way. Taylor Hall crashes the net. Can't quite convert though. Blackhawks legend Taylor Hall nearly converts. Carolina keep the pressure on. This Stankoven line again, man. They've been so good. Stankoven down low, tries to find Martin Nook, can't quite. Good play by Stankoven to stick with that, or Svechnikov, I should say. Nice clear by Bussy. Vegas cuts it off, come back the other way. Barbashev turns it over. Carolina back the other way. Vegas wins the race there. A little less than 8 minutes left in this game. Vegas still has plenty of time to tie this up. Still a lot of hockey left here. And Carolina ices the puck. Ozone draw for Vegas at 7:46 left. 4-3 Carolina, 27-17 shots. Looking to even up the series, going back to rally, see if they can do it. That was Theodore. Yeah, Theodore had a terrible turnover there. What was that? To Jarvis. That set up that whole goal. That was a Seth Jones-ass play by Theodore. I have no idea what he was doing there. Like, genuinely no clue what he was doing. If you're a defensive man, it's boards or glass. You never go up the middle of the ice. Never go up the middle of the ice. They teach you that in freaking Pee-wees, man. No clue what Theodore was doing there. That was a Seth Jones-ass turnover by Theodore. That was terrible. Torts were not like that at all. Anyway, ozone draw here for Vegas. All right, Hannafin from the point. What's he going to do here? Down low. Marner. What a pass by Marner. But Bussy makes a stop. Marner, man, that was a beautiful pass. Been doing that all playoffs, man. Matthews wouldn't have finished that. That was a good look for Vegas. Best chance they've had in a while. Oh, drop my cat. I thought they had one there, man. A lot of game left here. So it'll be a long 7 minutes, 30 seconds for Carolina. Okay, what happened here? Yeah, Eichel. I thought he found Eichel. Oh, what a stop. Best save. Remember that save. Best save of the game for Bussy. And then Anderson gets a chance right after that. Huge save. Big save. Here could they come again. Driving the net. Nice poke check there by Bussy. Carolina clears. 7:20 left for Vegas. Looking to bring this puck back in and dump it in. All right. Board battle here. Who's going to come away with it? Vegas comes away with it. Out of the zone. Eichel looks for Anderson. Less than 7 minutes left in the game. Vegas looking to enter the zone. They dump it in. Nice forecheck here. Good forecheck. Vegas gets possession back. Oh, good stick there by Slavin. Looks like he should get this out. He does. Jacob Slavin, man, he's so good defensively. Look at him. Look at Jake. Look at Slavin, man. Good D. Here comes Ehlers. Lobs that in. Hoists it in. Hoist mentioned. Carter Hart, first goalie with 4 goals allowed each of first 4 games of the Cup final. Ugh. Love that. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. As a whistle, 6:02 left. And we got a commercial break. What a goal by Jordan. I can't believe that, man. Oh, Hart nearly had it, too. He nearly had it. What a goal by Stahl. Hey, they don't ask how. They don't ask how, man. They all count the same. Clock again. All right, what do you think's going to happen, chat? We think Carolina edges us out. We think they finish the deal. Does Vegas have an answer here late? Are we still going to see overtime? What's going to happen here? I think, I don't know. Like, I want to say Carolina finishes the deal here, but how many late goals have we had in this series? I think we've had so many late game time goals. I don't know. I don't know if this game's over yet. I think we got a long time here, and I think Vegas probably still has something up their sleeve here. I hope not. But I think this game still got some chapters to write here. We'll see. Hope Carolina could just finish the deal here. Pretty straightforward. We'll see. But very few things have been straightforward in this series, man. They had to fight for everything. We'll see what happens here. Long way to go still. A lot of time for Vegas to find something here. When do you think about pulling the goalie? Probably 2 minutes-ish, 2-minute range. So they got time yet. Check up a chat. Chat's been pretty quiet this period. All right, back at the game. Come on, Carolina, let's finish this off. Let me make this a series. How Jordan Stahl, 5 goals in these Cup finals. 37 years young, 5 goals. So inspirational, man. That's impressive. And we're only 4 games in this series. He already has 5 goals in just this series alone. That's nuts. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. See if Carolina can finish the deal here. 6:02 left. 27-19 shots. 4-3 Canes. Neutral zone draw. Vegas breaks a stick in the... Or Jordan Stahl broke a stick in the draw. Carolina wins it. Vegas turns the puck over. Vegas dumps it in. Vegas pressuring. Good forecheck here once again. Carolina looking to get this out. They can't. Good keep by Vegas. Down low. Vegas looking for a chance. Can't find a net there. All right, they're breaking out again. 5 minutes left. Hannafin assessing his options here. Brings it back. Surveys his options. Makes the breakout pass to Marner. Carolina cuts it off. Good D. Vegas gets it back. Stone. Oh, got a whistle here. We have a call here? Who's this on? I thought we had a call. I guess not. I don't know. 5:09 left. 5 minutes for the Canes to survive here. See if they could do it. It's be a long 5 minutes, man. See if the Canes can hang on here. Just drop the puck already, Zebra. Thank you. Canes win the draw. They dump it in. Oh, good chance for Carolina. Good stop by Hart. Shot. Oh, didn't reach the net. Good block by Vegas. They've had a lot of blocks. Here they come the other way. They turn it over, though. Here come the Canes back in. Svatch with the seam pass. Here comes Vegas other way. Here comes Eichel. Got a lot of speed. Stops. Turns the puck over. Gets it back, though. All right, Stone bringing it back out. Selling it down. All right, Vegas playing keep away here. They dump it in. Will this be icing? Nope. They wave it off. No, it is icing. All right. 4:16 left. Come on, Carolina. Just a little bit longer here. Showing NBA. I have not paid attention to the NBA Finals. Apparently, it's 2-1 Knicks. I have not paid attention to it. No idea what's going on. Couldn't tell you a thing. Do not care. Anyone care about the NBA? I don't. One league I care less about. Does Carolina hang on, chat? Does Carolina hang on? I hope they do. I say they do. I say they hang on here. Hope so, at least. Now, I'm worried, though. I'm worried Vegas still has something cooking here. We'll see. Hope Carolina can hang on here. Yeah, I'm not even trying to be neutral here. I'm definitely not. Not even trying to be neutral. By the way, this final is absolutely flown by. Like, I can't believe we've already been at this for a week. We're already over halfway done. Like, how? I feel like this just started. How are we already here? Am I the only one that feels that way? This final has just been flying by. And when it's over, man, there's only a couple weeks until the draft. The draft is only 17 days away. We're only we're about 2 weeks away from the draft. A little over 2 weeks. I believe the buyout window starts when the cup is over. So hopefully when the series is over, we see that Burakovsky buyout, right? Hopefully. But yeah, I think you start seeing trades happen after the cup finals is over. You see some trades leading up to the draft and then for agency in July 1st. I think it's gonna be a busy offseason here, man. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun things developing here. Should be a lot going on, hopefully. They say that every year. They say every year there's going to be a lot of activity. It ends up not being it. So hopefully this year stuff actually happens this summer, right? There's been a lot of summers where there's been promised to be activity and nothing ends up happening. So this summer looks to be a pretty busy one, though. We've already had a lot of drama this summer leading into it. So I think it should be an interesting offseason, especially for the Blackhawks perspective. Should be an interesting one. It really gets going after the Cup. That's when it really starts. Anyway, neutral zone draw here. 4:16 left. Carolina looking to hang on for the 4-3 dub here. See if they can do it. Even the series up, heading back home for Thursday. I believe Game 5 is Thursday. We'll be back Game 5 as well. We're going to be streaming the rest of these finals. So we'll be back Thursday night. See how many more games we get of the series, right? Less than 4 minutes left. Carolina clears. Will this be icing? No. All right. Hey, we have this one off too. Vegas on the forecheck. Carolina clears. When does Vegas think about pulling a Hart here? About 3:30 left. Got to establish possession here soon. Probably around the 2-minute mark, I'd imagine. If you're down 2, you probably pull the goalie pretty soon. But if you're down 1, you probably leave that a bit later. So I imagine around the 2-minute mark, you probably see Hart pulled. We'll see. Got to get possession first. Carolina's doing a good job preventing that. Kind of playing keep away right now, just killing time, killing clock. All right, Vegas got the puck now. Entering the zone. Here comes Dorofeyev. Good D there. Good D by Miller. Good stuff. Separate the man from puck. Vegas keeps it in, though. Shot from the point. Oh! Good stop by Bussy. Vegas starting to apply some pressure now. It's now or never for them. Let Carolina have to turn over. Stankoven dumps it in. Will not be icing because it contacts Hart. Theodore on the breakout. All right, Vegas reassessing. 2:20 left. I imagine Hart's pulled pretty soon here. Vegas got possession. They got to establish ozone possession before they pull Hart. I think you'll see him probably pull pretty soon here. Comes Eichel back in. Drop pass. Vegas has not been able to establish possession so far. They have not been able to establish that pressure, but they did. Get a whistle here. All right, 1:59 left. Hart has been pulled. Vegas now gets the extra attacker here. 1:59 left. They got about 2 minutes left to get a goal here. Carolina looking to get the empty net. See if they can convert here. Will they get? Does Torts call a timeout here? Don't look like it. I probably weigh on that, or is he? No, he is. Or he's getting a change here at least. Yeah, he's getting a change. Get the Marner Eichel unit out there. Yeah, he called timeout. Yeah. All right. Carolina looking to hold on here. What does Vegas have here? They have anything here? What are they cooking? Guy win that draw. Guy win that draw. Gets up and gets some shots in the point. Look for a tip. You know, Marner, if his vision, he's going to find somebody. He's going to get some looks there. Get Mark Stone net front there, causing havoc. Maybe a Dorofeyev slot shot if you can. Eichel, Marner, you know they're going to be finding guys out there. You got to win that draw, though. Got to win that draw, though. Carolina's got a lot of guys who are good in the draw. So we'll see. It's a big face-off here. All right. Ehlers, Stahl, Jarvis, Chatfield, Slavin, Hurdle, Eichel, Dorofeyev, Stahl, Stone, Marner, Theodore for Vegas. Here we go. This is game right here. It's the game right here. Stahl on the draw again. He's been good on the draw. See if he can win another one here. Oh, big win for Vegas. Eichel misses, though. I thought that was a good chance there. They got possession. That's what they need to do. Carolina clears, though. All right, Dorofeyev controlling here. Getting the breakout going. Theodore. Vegas brings it back in. Chatfield should win the race here. Should clear this. And get it out. There we go. Here's a race here. Again, icing. Vegas gets the icing. 1:26 left. I'll have another ozone draw. Another chance here. Still a minute 30 to work with here. Eichel had a good chance there, man. Did the Oilers get a stick on that? That was a good chance for Eichel. Oh, he just missed the net. Man, point blank, Eichel just too much elevation on that. Anyway, wins another draw. I forgot the clock again. All right, board battle down low. Stone behind the net. Stone the Gretzky slot. Marner to the point. Eichel to the D-man. Theodore, shot from the point. Oh, doesn't quite reach. Got traffic net front. Carolina clears. Will this hit the empty net? Looks like it will. There it is. Carolina gets the empty netter. And that should be game. That should be game for Carolina. Just got to hold on for 50 more seconds here. 2-goal lead. They should be good. There we go. Big for Carolina. That's big for Carolina. They needed this one, man. They needed this one. They should tie the series up here. I think Ehlers will get credit for this, I believe. Big for Carolina. They needed this win. I believe this is Ehlers' goal. Let me check. It is. Nikolai Ehlers. He gets credit for it. That's big. We got a series here, folks. Absolutely have a series. Yeah, I mean, all the way from the, the puck just deflected off the boards there. I didn't even know if it was going to go in. Hey, you take it. You'll take it if you're Carolina, man. All right. I should be able to hang on here. I guess we'll come up short. Big goal for Carolina. 7th goal of the playoffs for Ehlers. He's been good in the playoffs as well. Good addition for them from Winnipeg. Definitely missed him. Vegas has 30 seconds to try to get anything here, but going to have to get 2 pretty quick here. I think it's a bit too little too late. Carolina might get another empty netter. They could. Get some stat padding here. Maybe a couple more opportunities here for Vegas. Don't look like it. Good stuff from Carolina, man. Easily the best game of the final for them. It's the first gamer for me. They totally outplayed Vegas. The game 2 when they won it, but I thought Vegas was the better team, honestly. But Carolina's controlled this game for the most part. They've outshot them, outpossessed them, outplayed them. Couple tough moments there. Vegas did look like they had a comeback brewing at one point. At one point, momentum was going their way in the second period, but otherwise, Carolina for the vast majority of this game has been the better team. 14 seconds left. Carolina ozone draw here. Hart's back in the net. Game's over, but we still got some time here, so we'll keep going until it's over. And that will do it. That will do it, folks. That is game 4. Carolina takes a 5-3 win. They even the series. Who said this series is over, man? Big win on the road for Carolina. They've been very good on the road throughout these playoffs. I believe the last game they lost was actually their first loss on the road the entire playoffs. So they get back at victory lane on the road. They take a 2-2 series lead back to Raleigh, back home for game 5. 2 of the 3 hypothetical games left are home games for Carolina. They do have home ice in this series. So we'll see if they can carry that, momentum forward. Tough break for them in game 3. They came back, down 4-0. They lost in overtime, but I think this was a great bounce back game for them. They played very good in this game. They're the better team tonight. They deserve this win, and momentum's back on their side, right? I think this was big for them. So see if they can carry forward, man. See if they can carry forward. 2-2 series. Back home for game 5 Thursday at Carolina. We'll see if they can take the series lead. They have not had the series lead yet, right? Vegas took game 1. They took game 2. Vegas took game 3. Carolina took game 4. They've been trading them, right? They've been trading them this series. So far, we're on pace for 7 games in this one. I'd love to see that, man. Hope we get a 7-game series. That'd be nice. But yeah, it's been a good game. Big win for the Canes, and we'll be back, man. We'll be back. Thank you all so much for watching this stream. We'll be back for Thursday and the rest of the series. I'll be live streaming the rest of this playoff series or the rest of this cup final. We'll be back. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thank you all so much for watching this stream. This is Justin Lynch. Bjork Memes out. Good night, everybody. We will see you all Thursday for the next one. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Boop.